Smooth. It's that time again, fam. Niners! Woo! Fam! Tick, 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 tick toward draft night. It's getting crazy. Some of the things you're reading online, if you're going through the dailies like I do, and you see some of the headlines, it's ridiculous. Well, Derek Carr is apparently, there's a lot of things that are going to affect our draft, and Derek Carr is one of them. I'm looking at these things, but my favorite, this has a lot to do with what I was going to talk about today. And then I check out the headlines. I see, I guess everybody's kind of almost on the same page. What was that one about Derek Carr? Really? His injury could push the Saints to draft a quarterback early, potentially helping the 49ers land a top prospect or trade back from the number pick 11. There's a lot of things that are going to push the 49ers into pick 11 move back. We can get over the fact the 49ers, it's not. There's a consistency with the 49ers that we all recognize, and some of us don't appreciate, most of us don't appreciate. The consistency is the fact the 49ers in the first round don't normally do well. In the later rounds, what is also equally consistent is the 49ers do well. Last year's draft pick had one guy in the first round, and he didn't play that much until the end of the year, and we still don't know that much about Ricky Pearsall. So you see, the 49ers dropping back is no longer as scary as it was years ago. Remember when we were saying things like, Niners, don't draft back, and we got all upset? Oh, no, now we want the 49ers to draft back. They're going to do a much better job if they do than they do in the first round. For some reason, they just can't get it right in the first round. And that doesn't apply to every team in the league because Howie Roseman, my hero, does great with the Eagles every year. It makes me sick. So, not afraid of trading back this year. Also, ESPN analyst turns the 49ers trade pitch Brock Purdy for T.J. Watt in a move that could shake up San Francisco's future under center and on defense, which leads me to my thinking before I came up with today's matter. Fam, and I want to also be, just to justify my thinking on this, I had the same thinking years ago when they did on what do we call that when the 49ers? Anyway, they had the day when they check out Stanford and some of the other local schools, right? So I said then, that's the dude you want, Niners. First round pick. Give me Christian McCaffrey. I'm not playing, fam, but give me Christian McCaffrey. People, Ronbo, give me a break, man. Nobody thinks they're running back in the first round. A few years later, I said back then, this guy is tailor-made for Kyle Shanahan's offense like nobody else. Some of that pro days what I was talking about, I'm sorry. This guy is tailor-made for what Kyle Shanahan wants to do. He'll set up that offense like nobody else. We finally get him. He becomes player of the friggin' year. So you know what? I'm telling you right now, CMC Insurance Plan, Ashton Jetner. And I say that because also, I appreciate what they're doing in Detroit. Don Burr, don't get the wrong idea, man. Don't get the wrong idea, man. But what I do is I like that Knuckles and Sonic combination they've got. If we got this kid, CMC and Dente would be, they can't be Knuckles and Sonic because they're already using that. Shh. But we'll knock Knuckles and Sonic. We'll make them look like a couple of wimps. Oh, God, that would be. Topic. Niners need for a top-tier running back from the 2025 draft is now high priority. I'll explain. And I want to get your count on it. The Niners have fallen below their own standard of excellence regarding the trenches. I realize that. You realize that. The NFL realizes that. Oddly enough, the O-line was rated in the upper half of the league during the recent Super Bowl LVIII year of 2024. Remember somebody came out and gave us those numbers? And we're sitting here. Somebody did that right during the show. They gave us those numbers, and we said, get the bleep out of here. The Niners ain't no top 10 offensive line. That just goes to show you how bad offensive lines are around the league. That's why defensive linemen look like absolute beasts in the last few years. Nobody's building an offensive line anymore. The team that does, Eagles, this past Super Bowl, they win. So anybody that puts any energy and time and effort into building a decent offensive line, when you think about what happened with Dallas a few years ago, when every last one of their offensive linemen were first round picks, you couldn't touch You couldn't touch. Zeke was running all over the field, and that's back in the day when Dak had respect. You couldn't touch Dak and Zeke. They were pro rookie of the year. They were like, how'd they do that year? Anyway, they shared the honor of rookies of the year that year. I'd never seen anything like that. But Dak and Zeke, they went off. And the Cowboys still didn't go anywhere that year, which is really bizarre. But anyway, the D-line has been struggling for years, giving up huge to opposition running. We've been crying about that bitterly for how long. There's no doubt that top priority in this draft should address the need to add to the strength of the trenches. It should. But what can't be assumed is this all-world CMC. Is he going to go 17 to 20 weeks? Now, you and I both know if we had to make a bet on that, we might not do it in front of other 49er fans, but if they was talking big money, boy, I'd lay the biggest wad I could down on that counter and walk away with a mask on like I didn't do it. Because I'm telling you, fam, I'm worried about him making it for 17 weeks. You know, he's kind of fragile now. He's getting up there. As a running back, that's a tough job. If Kyle Shanahan does what he does, he's not going to make it. I just don't believe it. Shanahan's offense is ignited by the run like no other in the league. Could this be another year where the search for another alpha runner be on the menu? To the phones, we're going to go to examine the Niners' importance of adding a top running back and how early in the draft do you pull that trigger? Super Bowl 59 champions, Eagles. Fam, without Saquon, they don't raise that. They do not raise that Lombardi. Saquon took them there. Now, granted, Saquon was not a huge factor in the Super Bowl, but he is the reason why they got there in the fashion that they did. Make no mistake, running backs are still important in the NFL. Even though it's a quarterback. Shit. Quarterback ain't got no running back. They're spinning him to prove that fact. He ain't going nowhere. He really ain't. So, we get right into it. I'm going to tell you right now, the Niners have so many needs heading into the draft, with none seemingly more pressing than reinforcing them so trenches. As I just said, both D-line and O-line. Either unit could be addressed with the team's first-round pick at number 11. Of course, that would be the logical, rational, most important thing to do. Your guess is as good as anybody's as to whether that's the right idea or not. However, the conversation is out there, fam. It's out there. You may have even participated in some of them as well. The Niners may wait until after day one to tackle. Pun definitely intended. Those needs, opting instead to use their top selection on another position group. Bring back the thought of Tyler Ward in the first round. But don't. We can get a tight end. There may be another one. But running backs are handling the ball all the time. The secondary. Michigan cornerback Will Johnson. You want to ensure that secondary is going to be safe? Get Will. We've already got some guys. We don't need a lot of them. The guys we got are already in place. Will Johnson, you add that to that. You add any cornerback that's high caliber, round 1, 2, usually they don't fail, especially the round 1 and 2 cornerbacks. God, there's some famous name guys that came out of round 1 in the last few years. Popular projected pick for San Francisco, fam. If you have time, check out the insanity coming on some of the network daily shows. If for no other reason, the entertainment. It gets your mind rolling. It does. You sit there and you think, yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Not bad at all. Makes no sense, but it wouldn't be a bad idea. Danny Park is host of FS1's Breakfast Ball. Checked him out. Dude should have been arrested after that show, right? No, maybe not. This student suggested the Niners use the 11th overall pick on a running back. Talk about crazy. Giving the teams more urgent needs elsewhere. Why would they do that? In the first round, remember a couple of weeks ago when Jalen said, remember Jalen called in Ronbo, because Jalen's always, his whole thing, though, is to mock Kyle Shanahan. I said, Ronbo, they going to take a running back in the first round. Jalen, stop, man. Come on, man. You need to relax, bro. Chill out. I'm telling you, they're going to take a running back in the first round. No, they're not. Well, if Jalen calls back, I ain't going to argue with him. Jalen could be Danny Parkins in real life. I told him to stop it that day. Grabbing a running back in the first round would prompt so serious eyebrow raising, and the face palms would be slaps. You'd hear them all over the Niner Empire. What? Bam! Oh, Parkins is particularly high on Boise State standout. I've heard you mention him. People who follow college football a lot, they've mentioned this name of Ashton Jitney. Envisioning him as a perfect fit for Coach Shanahan's offense and worthy of the 11th overall pick. Here's the thing about Kyle, fam. And Parkins says this: he gets maximum 90th percentile production from whoever he has, whether it's Devontae Freeman, who we got years ago. Devontae won offensive. He won something that year. Back with the Falcons. Raheem Mostert. That record he got in the playoffs will never be touched, fam. I don't care who the running back is. Over 200 yards in a playoff game on the dirt? What? Yes. McCaffrey. No questions or challenges, a starter heading into 2025. No doubt about it. However, CMC battled brutal injuries, as we all know, appearing in only 4 games last season and spending a whole lot of time on the IR at the start and into the season. I really do wonder, had he been able to make the whole season, would things have been different? I think we don't get swept by the NFC West. No chance of that. I just don't see that if CMC's involved. Because he provides, Brock, if nothing else fails, he's right there. Give him the ball, let him do what he does best, is destroy off defenses. So Parker's asked the obvious question, though. I know they're saying McCaffrey's healthy, but for how long? We've asked that same question. He led in scrimmage yards, touchdowns, yards per touch. It was unbelievable. So McCaffrey, we know he can play all over the field, and we know he doesn't have that much longer in his prime. It's a sad thing, but it's true. The 11th overall pick for the number 1 running back, Jitney, a match made in heaven. Okay, fam, this is not as far-fetched as it sounds. I could see the 49ers are going to shake things up. They're not going to do things like they always do. I just imagine they're not going to come in there being conventional or conservative. I see them doing something really wild and bizarre. I can feel it now. But fam, Gene T led the NC2A last season. Fam, did Saquon have this kind of yardage coming out of school? 2,601 yards? Did they give him the ball on every play? The dude had 2,601 rushing yards. He scored 30 total touchdowns and averaged 7 yards per carry. So just give him the ball all day. Look and stay out the way. Jesus. This is why I'm saying, and Kyle, you don't have to run McCaffrey to death. You get this kid, alternate back and forth. You can tell some wide receivers, it'd be like the NBA. You can tell them on some games, they can take the day off and save them for the playoffs. It could get that serious. Niners traded away their leading rusher from last season, Jordan Mason, leaving McCaffrey backed up by second-year back Isaac Guerendo and veteran Patrick Taylor. By the way, ain't nobody mad at Guerendo and Taylor. No. But just look at the guy that they did not come out of school with 2,601 yards. I don't think anybody does. Woo! The team is expressed in adding another back anyway through the draft. We already knew about that. Shanahan said last week, I think you always hope to address this need every year. I mean, yeah, of course, we're set with McCaffrey, but every single year that we've gone through this, except for 2 years, we've gone through 4 running backs. And how many times I say, fam, you need 6 running backs in September. Have them stand, have some of them hit away, have some of them hide them in the IR, whatever you want to do, but have 6. Key answers right there. And most teams do, so you've always got to be prepared for that. But Christian's healthy. He's doing great. We got Isaac in there working. We're pumped to get Patrick back. We'll see if we add someone in the draft, but you'd like to add one every year. You see this. even Shanahan says you're gonna go through at least 4. They're gonna. You can take that to the bank, fam. Your opinion. Do you ruin any chance of success by doing something unorthodox, like taking a running back in the first round, knowing you need so many other things, much more? Remember, that year that Zeke and Dak did so well together, Jerry Jones, I'm not saying Jerry Jones is one that you want to follow. Jerry picked up Zeke in the first round of the draft that year, and everybody laughed. They kicked ass that year. But then again, he had things in place already. They had a great offensive line already. They had a lot of things already. Their defense was decent. So you could afford to get. And this is the place we've never arrived, and we always cry about, it'd be great if we get the best player available, but we're not positioned to do that, right? Fam, you know what? I just want to debate that situation. Is it real, Ashton, or should we just go ahead and do Plan A? Matty, I'm in a beautiful Bend, Oregon. Come on in, Matty.
Ronbo, what's happening, buddy?
Hey, I'm telling you, man, this is such an adventuresome draft coming up this year because we haven't had a draft like this in a long time, right? Because we've been a Super Bowl team. All we were doing is try to tighten things up in the offseason and get ready to go back and take another shot. Well, we're not doing that now. Could we expect something wild and crazy? What do you think? And would you think it'd be a good idea to do something bizarre in the first round?
I'm okay with doing something bizarre. I'm just, as much as I love defense, I'm tired of getting it every first round draft pick. It's just like, man, it's like, dude, stop.
Yeah.
Stop shoving it down our throats.
Yeah. And then he comes in and fails.
Dudes.
Javon Kinlaw.
Yeah.
My God, that was a bad pick.
Whew. Dude. Solomon Thomas. Or no, he's offense.
Don't remind me of Solomon
Detroit
Thomas.
versus everybody.
Get your guy here. Go ahead, man.
No, but I'd be interested to see, jeez.
Go ahead.
No, I'm okay with it. I mean, I can't be mad at a really good running back. I mean, it's hard to be mad at that. But if we're gonna get someone else, dude, we've already got a nice squad. So it's like, man, let's rotate some dudes. Let's get Isaac out there a little more and not run CMC into the ground every other play.
See, that's the thing, Matty. You could give Kyle Shanahan that running back, but will he please, Kyle, would you figure out a way to get those guys rotated? Other teams are doing it with great success. Why can't we? I understand that CMC does feel like he's the man and he should be out there the whole time. But Kyle, you're the coach. You're the grown-up in the room, supposedly. You're the guy who should make the decision as to how well you can utilize these guys and make sure you got them preserved for Week 17. Matty, if you and I can figure that out, how come he can't do it?
I know, huh? Well, dude, I always feel like a real good, solid running back to complement your quarterback is just as important as having protection for him, dude.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because they're almost both equally, it seems like they're almost both just as important.
Yeah. And Jitney's a big kid, too. He can pass protect.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. So, that's an excellent combo, Ronbo, because you're getting more for your money.
And Matty, like everybody says, and it's not a joke, this class is rich with defenders. You could probably get a top grade, a Pro Bowler defensive DT, and maybe the latest a third round. So
yeah, like really be strategic with your first round picks
and think about it. Just think hard about it.
Yeah. And then I always hate to bring it up, man. I'm going to be the guy in the room tonight, but like,
Go ahead.
What are we going to do about our kicker?
Man, as human beings, we tend to black out. It's the only way. It's the only defense against high anxiety. You can send yourself into a depression. It's unhealthy. If I think about Jake Moody, it makes me very unhappy. I need to order an entire pizza in order to get over that Jake Moody moment. So Jake comes in there this year, and it's a close game, and it's seconds to go. Jake Moody's trotting out on the field. Every 49er fan and the planet is holding his breath. The snap, the kick. Moody misses wide right. No, God, what is it? See, I don't feel like going through all that, man. We went through that how many times in the last 2 years?
Too many just in this last season. More than I'd like to see over the course of multiple seasons.
Oh, I'm telling
you. You know what I mean?
Because we're not used to that. We've had some premier kickers. Robbie was a standard. Even before that, there's been a couple of guys. They just didn't do a Jake Moody to us.
Well, dude, look at this, Ronbo. Like, when you're a kicker, like, what else do you do?
That's the only job.
You're an accountant? Like, you doing groceries at the store? Like, you're not a quarterback.
Yeah.
You kick the ball,
right?
bitch.
Maybe he's Uber driving after he gets off of work. I don't know. Is there a problem? I don't.
Seriously, dude. And I think Moody's probably a great kicker, dude. But like, I think we've even talked about it before, dude. Like, you can get in someone's head, man, and like, it's hard to get that mental status back straight again.
Yeah,
that'll do you in.
Man, that's a fragility behind a kicker. Mentally, they're real.
Yeah.
It's real sensitive. You got to be careful because once he loses his confidence, oh man, you got a problem.
Oh, big problem, dude.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, I think we underestimate that problem sometimes, dude. Like, I don't think Moody's a bad kicker.
What? No,
I think you just
that in school.
He missed one, and he probably listens to the crowd, dude. He probably listens to podcast. He probably listens to too much outside noise, dude. It's probably an issue as well.
Yeah, well, he needs to hang out with Luka Doncic. Luka got kicked out of a game the other day because he's going on and on with a fan in the seats. Now, not many pros carry on with fans in the stands. It got him thrown out of the game. If Jake was trotting out of the field, hey, Jake, you bum, sit your ass down and send the real kicker out. If I'm Jake, you come down here then, punk. And you want a piece of me? Get mad, Jake. Pump yourself up. I'd like to see him do that.
Yep. Make a difference. Telling you. So, yeah, but I'm excited for the draft, man. It can't come fast enough. I mean, we got a lot to talk about between here and there because
we do.
Well, we just always seem to because there's always a lot going on.
And it better happen that night. Jack, we got to go, fam. I'll see you Sunday. And
right, buddy.
Let's see what happens.
Yes, sir.
Next.
I look forward to it, man.
I do too, man. Appreciate you, fam. See you Sunday.
You too, bro.
Thanks,
all right,
man.
Buddy. Good night, buddy.
Night, man.
Oh, night. I always forget to say hi to William and Brian and Tony, the homies out in the chat, man. I always forget to say something. So, what up, fellas?
Yeah. All right, fam. Night,
yep.
buddy.
And Smooth.
Hey, who's coming up now, actually?
Night, buddy.
Night. Smooth, get on in here, man. Let's continue where we left off yesterday, man. I'm the possibilities in the first round are making me crazy. Smooth.
Ronbo, remember I told you things change rapidly? Hey, man, I don't have no problem with getting Gentry to check this out. If they, let me see. I got right here. The Niners, it's a rumor from Sporting News that the Niners are going to probably trade up to number 3 with the Giants and get wait, hold on. Let me get his name.
Bring it.
Tell you nothing wrong. Okay. Abdul Carter.
Do we have to go up that high?
Penn State. Check. I'm saying if Robert Sala want him, if we get him,
they're gonna do all they can to get him.
Hey, bro. Hey, we can eat.
I ain't gonna be mad at that.
That's from Sporting News.
I ain't gonna be mad at that
because we
don't have no defensive lineman.
Right. And it's a rumor about T.J. Watt, not T.J. Watt. Is it
Yeah,
Watt?
it is.
Which
It's
Watt
TJ.
is that? He got
Yeah.
Okay,
For Brock?
yeah. No, I will make that move. No, keep Brock. I will make that move because, like I said, the draft is deep in all areas. So why even do that? And he's older now. We trying to get away from those older players. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Injuries, it's hard to come back from. But getting back to Gentry, my point. Now, check this out. New Orleans, you already touched on that, so I don't really have to touch on that much. With New Orleans, Carr is out. He's going to need probably surgery. We can move up 2 spots with New Orleans because now New Orleans going to go get a quarterback there first. See what I'm saying? Now they need a quarterback. So I can see Adore Sanders going there. Then they need Ed. Before they need a quarterback, before Carr went down, they need edge rusher, wide receiver, tight end, defensive back, and defensive tackle. So I can see the Niners moving up to number 9. But if they move up to number 9, there's no way they can get Abdul Carter. But they can get Gentry, because let's see from 1 to 11. And let's see who needed. Nobody. Okay, the Browns, they got edge rusher first, quarterback, offensive tackle, wide receiver, then running back. So they don't really need no running back at that high. That's too rich for their blood. Now Tennessee, they're going quarterback Ward. New England, they need offensive tackle. Jacksonville Jaguars, they need defensive back, safety. They don't need no running back. The Raiders, they needed a quarterback, but they have Geno Smith, but they probably go quarterback later on. But after that, they need wide receiver, running back. So they may go wide receiver. But if they don't go running back, then you have the Jets, quarterback, defensive tackle, offensive tackle, safety, defensive back. Nobody else need a running back at that point. So we can move up to 2 spots with New Orleans and get Gentry. Now, Gentry, check this out. Gentry and CMC, that's CMC replacement right there. CMC getting older. He looked good in practice and training and all that. Yes. That's one thing. But when you're in a game situation, that's a whole different situation right there. But if you go down, put Gentry right in, then we have Garendo. Now, check this out. CMC starter, Gentry, his backup to come in. Now, you forget. Now, I'll take Garendo and put him at wide receiver because remember, he played wide receiver before he played running back.
Hard to cover.
4-3 speed and wide out. That big back, ain't no defensive back can stay with him, and he will bowl safeties and DBs all day long.
Linebacker either. Yes.
Hey, I'm telling you. So, hey man, I see that happening. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I don't have no problem with it.
By the way, you mentioned things that are going to happen to affect the 49ers. Shador, his stock is dropping like a rock. I don't know why, but
the door came on. Shador, I didn't mean to go ahead. I'll let you go.
Hold on, Stephen. Hold on. Go ahead.
Go on, Robert.
No, go ahead, Smooth. I was just
Shador Sanders was okay. Shador Sanders did an interview. He stated time and time again, he don't care where he go. He said, whoever don't get him, it's their loss. It's their loss.
Okay.
So Shador Sanders can go. He can slide all the way to 21 to go to Pittsburgh.
Oh, Jesus.
Because
and they would take him in a heartbeat.
Because check this out. But now he's not going to slide that far. He was before because New Orleans didn't need a quarterback. They had Carr. But since New Orleans since Carr go down now, Shador Sanders may end up going to New Orleans. It makes sense now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
But and if we trade 2 spots up with New Orleans, they can still get Shador Sanders because nobody else from 12 to 21 don't need no quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Nobody needs no quarterback after New Orleans. Chicago don't need one. San Francisco don't need one. Dallas don't. Miami,
Dallas do.
Atlanta, Cards, Cincinnati. Yeah. Dallas, no, they ain't gonna do that. They ain't gonna do that. Denver don't do it. So if New Orleans don't take him, the Steelers go take him.
Fam, also you look at
and one more. Okay,
go ahead.
Huh? Go ahead.
No, I'm listening. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying if the Niners. I said the draft is deep at running back, but it's only 2 players that really fit Shanahan's system.
I know.
We already touched on Gentry.
Fits.
The next one is all Big Ten running back R.G. Harvey, 4.4 speed.
Yeah.
So that's 90. That'll be a 92%. He's 5'8". That's 8%. His weight is 205. That's 27%. He's ranked 16th out of all running backs. He'll be a steal. His arms, 29. That's 11%. His rating, play rating is 81.1. He was Dork Award finalist last season. 1,577 yards, 6.8 yards a carry, 22 touchdowns. His shuttle 4.34. That's 32%. His catching is 20. He caught 20 passes for 267 yards.
And so
Yeah.
I want to know what school did he come from?
He's
Is he SEC?
at University Central. Yes, USCF, University of Central Florida. Check him out.
Yeah, he's played out Southern Boys. Smooth, we done ran the clock. Listen, I'm loving it.
It's all good. It's all good. When
It's
you
like
be back.
it turn you on and it just lets you go, man. You might be smooth. Hey, bring it Sunday. I'll be looking for you.
I'll be there.
All right, fam.
Faithful. Y'all take care. All right now.
All
I'm
right,
out.
smooth. All right, fam.
All right.
I'm loving the smooth, man. This dude sounding healthy as can be, ain't he? Hey, yo, Steven. Steven.
What's up, Ronbo?
Steven, your sound, you're in the car, aren't you?
Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Let me go ahead and put it on speaker. Better?
The same.
Oh, it's still the same? Oh,
Yeah.
damn. Okay, hold on.
You sound like you're in about a hole about 30 feet deep.
Oh, yeah. Okay, how about now? Better?
Not have to change, Steven. Yeah. Steven, are you in transit? How long is it before you get to where you're going?
Hey, how about now? Better?
No, it's not changing, Steven.
Oh, hold on. Okay. Let me pull over real quick. Hold on.
Okay,
Or go ahead and go pick the next car.
Okay.
pick the
We'll give you a
next
chance to
card.
make some adjustments. Okay. All right.
All right.
All right, Steven. Well, let's go check. Eric, come on in, Eric. Eric,
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Eric, it's the closing days going into draft NFL 2025. Now, see, Eric, you 2-3 weeks ago, last month, we could just relax and talk about needs and things like that. Now the drama is starting to build. You're starting to hear these little stories like Derek having to get surgery that could take him out for the season, changing the strategies of every team in NFL coming down the thing. Eric, what's going on in Emerald City, man?
I am. Drew Lock is coming back.
Wait, who? Drew Luck?
Drew Lock? Yeah. Yeah,
You-
Drew Lock's coming back.
Uh-huh.
I heard that one today, so...
Did you have Drew
but
Luck?
other than that, I don't...
You had Drew Luck in the first place, though, right?
Yeah, we had him a couple years ago. Last year, he went to the Giants. now he's coming
that's
back.
right. He left and he came back. Yeah, okay. Yeah, how do you feel about Drew? I never thought he was such a bad quarterback. I thought he was the second or third tier, but I didn't think he was that bad. He couldn't hurt. He didn't hurt you really.
No, he actually is not a Mizzou guy. So, me personally, he's a great QB. He's a great fit, but sometimes he kind of does weird things. Sometimes.
He folds under pressure at times. Quarterbacks are it's a very scary thing. See, the minute the NFL decided it's a passing game, now you put quarterbacks, and I tell you, Eric, quarterbacks have never, in the history of football, there's been a handful that stood out to be game-changing quarterbacks that could actually take over a game. But the amount of quarterbacks that needed support, it can't be counted. So that's why when I look at what's going on now, Kid, he's like 12, 13 years old. Oh, be a quarterback. But he doesn't have really the skills it takes. His mental makeup is not right for a quarterback. But he wants to be the big man on campus anyway. He gets to high school, he's still got that dream going on. He is adorned by everybody on the campus on a daily basis. His mind is being manipulated into something he's really not. He gets to the NFL and reality sets in. Boom! You're not a quarterback! Oh! See, then I say, see... You gotta
Who was that?
Oh, there's so many. Kids who come out and thinking they're quarterbacks. I would say there's probably at least 10 in the draft class this year. Maybe 3 of them are going to survive in the NFL. 7 of them are not going to make it. When I say 3 are going to survive, I mean 1 out of 10 might be a starter. The rest are going to be backups, or they're not going to stay in the NFL. It's going to be not for long.
Yep, I'm really hoping that Brady Cook can make it, but we're going to find out, I guess.
Yeah. It's going to be sad.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, I feel like he's got a chance to make it, but he might have to do things to make it happen.
Well, yeah, you got to do a lot of things. They depend on you. You handle the ball all day more than anybody else, and the only person that's more responsible than that quarterback is the coach. So, man, that's why coaches come in to new regimes, and first thing they do is get rid of that quarterback. He's not me, and he's not going to get me fired.
Yep.
So, I don't know. So, Drew Lock is going to be that means you guys are probably going to, for sure, draft a quarterback, I would guess.
Well, I mean, we already got Donald already.
What's his name?
We got Sam Donald.
Oh, Sam. Oh, what am I thinking? Yeah. Oh, you're fine.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold just needs somebody to rub his little head and tell him, Sammy, you're a good quarterback. It's okay. Don't worry about what happened last week. We're fine. You've won 13 games this year. Now let's go to the playoffs and get it done. This is Sammy. Eric.
Yep.
I know he's your quarterback now, but Sammy blew it. He should not have lost like he lost against the Rams. They're not as good as he made them look. They're just not. And so that's why he's got to get his mind back together. He's better than that, actually. So,
Yeah, but
we'll find out. Because but the thing is, you guys have always had a good run game. Last year you had a good running game, but didn't utilize it as much as you should have, actually. You guys got some great running backs. I don't know how come you guys get running backs people never heard of, and they look great.
Yeah.
And that's been going on a lot down the last 6, 7, 8 years. So,
yeah, I think. Yeah, but then again, you guys, I mean, there's been some great players in San Fran too, like Kittle and Purdy and CMC and all those guys.
I know. The 49ers, we do get some legendary players often. And, we should have 7. We should actually have 7 Lombardis so people like Rudy can shut the hell up and go home. But I do think, though, that in this case, this is going to happen. I don't see Shanahan constantly losing forever. This has happened to a lot of coaches that had huge success later. They lose it initially for the first few years or whatever, and then all of a sudden they become juggernauts. So I see that coming before Shanahan leaves. So we'll see. Eric, I'll tell you what, I'm going to see you Sunday. Always a pleasure to see you when we do. I'll see you Sunday, okay? All right.
I mean, you would be yeah.
Have a great night.
All right.
Night, Eric.
You too, bud. Bye, bud.
Night. Hey, yo, Steven. Hey, let's see if Steven has got a situation where he can talk. Steven. Danny Trejo. Oh, hey, Triple Larry, come on in, man. Don't embarrass Danny Trejo with comparing him to Rudy. There is no comparison. Danny Trejo's a bad, bad dude. Hey, Aaron.
Ronbo.
Aaron. Aaron, man, we're sitting here gambling, man. We're talking about the 49ers doing something shocking enough to send a ripple effect through the whole 2025 season. I saw you on X. You know what I'm talking about. Ashton, give him the ball. Gente. And what are you thinking?
I mean, to me, Ronbo, I think drafting Ashton Gentry is kind of too rich because there's a bunch of good running backs in this draft, and it's a deep one. So,
yeah, I know. I every time I looked at that clip, I said, "This dude, he refuses to go down, and when it gets loose, it's a minimum of 30 yards." So I like you're saying, I could look at more clips. There's probably other guys that give you a rush like he does, but 2,000, damn near 3,000 yards. College football season ain't that long, bro. Damn.
yeah. And I feel like, we need to with the 11th pick, we need to prioritize either O-line or D-line, because
which would be sensible.
Because for Trent Williams, we don't know if it's his last year playing or
I know, right? Or
so,
next year, the last year, but 3 years from now, there's so no Trent Williams. Oh, we got 2 years to make a move, fam. This year, he might be still solid. Next year, he'll be running on fumes. That's it. He's done.
Yeah. So, yeah. And, and of course D-line is our priority because our D-line is thin besides Nick Bosa and others.
That's why, man, trading up to 3 does not make me crazy. We lose a lot of picks. But you trade up to 3 and get that dude, the one that supposedly has a foot that's not going to be an issue. See, that's the only thing, though, Aaron. He's that guy that his foot's not going to be an issue. You get this guy, what's his name again? Abdul what? Carter?
Carter, yeah.
Yeah. You pick Abdul up, and any issues you got on the defensive line, you can consider those taken care of. And 49ers, you put Abdul with Nick Bosa, hey, you're immediate candidate for the Super Bowl. Agents talk, right? He'd be running the game like crazy, right? Because we still need DTs. But you make that trade. I don't care how many picks we got left. Aaron, do you know what? We can find at least one more good DT. The guys we got, I could roll with Gross Matos and a couple other guys we got. Get 4th, 5th round, see if there's any DTs left. We got a defensive line. Damn right we do.
Oh yeah, and I thought your Turk Gross Models was coming on his own during the last few weeks of the season. Play. So
no, make no mistake, he can play. He just can't stay healthy. That's a big man too. I didn't realize how big he was until there was a shot. After the play was over, Gross Models stood up and he kept on standing up, and everybody around him said, "Oh, I didn't realize he was that big." So he's like, kind of reminded me of Eric Armstead size out there, just standing over everybody. And he ain't quite as good as Eric, but he's up there as far as skills. So, yeah.
Yeah, and also I think you mentioned about Will Johnson, the cornerback from Michigan.
Yeah.
I think that could be a realistic option because the D-line position is deep in this draft. So, yeah, I could definitely see the 49ers drafting a corner with their first pick. I mean, imagine Will Johnson with Diamaro Lenore and
Bernardo Green.
Bernardo Green.
We're good for years. We don't need to worry about quarterbacks. Just pick up a kid here and there for the next couple of years. But your nucleus is set and solid. Solid.
Yep.
Got to do that.
Yeah.
Down and out like we are and drafting high as we are. Don't waste this opportunity. You know, we did that a few years ago with the quarterback situation. 2 first-round picks. Take them. Give me that quarterback. Oh, Lord have mercy. We ain't got a first-round pick for the next 2 years, and now the quarterback is on the bench. The last kid we picked in the draft is now starting. Hindsight. It's vicious is what it is. We could have kept them first-round picks. We got draft Purdy. Let's not go over that again. Let's not do that again.
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, I'm really excited for the draft.
It's exciting this year. Like, we ain't had this kind of excitement in years because we're the Super Bowl contenders. We don't need much. We just need a tweak. All right, tell you what, I'm gonna see you Sunday, and like Reela says, let me come up with another lame topic just so we can get together. Hey, Reela, sorry, man. If you ain't entertained, man, we're talking football. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. But we'll see you Sunday, fam.
All right, Ronbo. Yeah. Have a good night, and
you too.
Niners for life.
All right, fam. Steven, get on in here, Steve.
Better?
Steve,
you're far away.
You're not using Bluetooth, are you?
I was, but how about now? Better?
Oh, yeah. Hey, by the way, I'll remind everybody, Bluetooth never works. It's always something like this. It sounds fine now.
All right, cool. All right, so, everyone's talking about Abdul Carter.
Yeah.
I like the idea of Abdul Carter. The only thing I got to disagree on is what Smooth said about picking Ashton Gentry. I don't know, something about it. I just don't feel right, you know? He's got all the hype around him. And usually a running back that has all the hype around him doesn't really do that well.
Except for Saquon.
In the grand scheme of it all.
Yeah.
And CMC. Those are 2 rare occasions. But we're talking about 2 running backs of an entirely different breed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
like,
yeah.
They're an entire class alone. Like, let's think about it. What other running back are you going to see do a backwards hurdle? What other running back are you going to see that can do a front flip?
Hey, if I'm another GM, I request that he be called in for drug testing. That's what Saquon did was not human. I mean, he went that high in the air, legs spread out, and cleared that dude like a hurdle. I mean, there was some distance between his butt and that dude's head.
He spun around one defender and still springboarded off of him.
Hey, these are the guys I'm talking about that are born for whatever they do. Saquon Barkley, was not going to be better at anything else in life than what he is. Amazing running back.
And on top of that, too, I mean, we got CMC who can find the A-gap in any which way possession. And not only that, too, he's got that finesse to, get out of, a closing gap. He can literally wiggle himself out, which is nice to have.
Oh,
he's not super flashy like Saquon, but he gets the job done. He does it pretty damn well.
And he's going to break 1 or 2 a game where he's going down the sideline and gone. At least 1 or 2 every game.
No, but I do like the idea of Cam Scatterbo being one of the main people. And the reason why I say that is because there's a better chance of getting Cam Scatterbo than there is of Ashton Gentry. And I say that because no one really knew who, Cam Scatterbo was. Not a lot of people still don't know who he is. So the idea of him falling to the Niners, hands is pretty good. I'm not going to say it's, marginal compared to everyone else.
Yeah.
There could be that off chance where Niners just see him in whatever round and they just blow right past him and the team behind us says, oh, okay, we'll take him then.
But Shanahan's going to make a running back into something he isn't. Well, he's not necessarily isn't. He's going to make a running back even better than whatever he is. That just happens.
Yeah.
It was Kyle.
But I mean, I will say, man, this, like Smooth said, this draft class is deep. It's real deep. Talent is everywhere. It's plentiful. Not a lot on offense as there is on defense, but that's something that like we're really looking towards. Because again, gotta say it, we have more holes on defense than we do on offense. Yeah, sure, we need an offensive line.
It's scary,
but it's more scary on defense because we have nobody, and we need players that are willing to step up and be aggressive, who aren't already coming off of injury. Please, for the love of God, do not get a player that is already coming off of injury.
And draft and trade up for him.
Oh God!
Oh, Carter. And the agent's sitting out there singing too. Hey, it's not going to be a factor. The doctors, I could give you the papers. It's not going to be a factor. He's been cleared. He only had to heal up on his own. He's fine. Okay.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. You don't just heal up on your own.
Not that quick. It's only been a few weeks since Abdul. Yeah. God.
We've heard that line so often, man. It's almost sickening.
Well, you know.
But yeah.
Yeah. Right.
It's going to be a wonderful year, though, Ronbo. I have a feeling if we make it to the Super Bowl, I know I'm betting 1,000 on that one, but if we make it to the Super Bowl, great. We're going to win it. If we don't make it to the Super Bowl, I can tell you we're probably making it to the NFCCG with the rookies that we have.
Yeah.
And that's the best part about it is that we're guaranteed to win and be successful in any direction. If we don't win it this year, we're definitely going to get it next year for sure.
You know, Vegas says this: we're going to win the division and do well this year, but they never say that, even when we have a Super Bowl team. Well, no, I'll take that back. When the 49ers have a Super Bowl team, they said it every year. 49ers, this is their Super Bowl to lose. Well, you know, okay, but this year they're saying we're still gonna do well. I guess because we got an established quarterback, we don't have to go after. We still got George Kittle. We still got players out there. If CMC's healthy, you're already a factor. I get it, but it's no defense. Nobody's gonna win without a defense.
Here's the thing. If the Niners are serious, which I know they are, it's silly for me to say this because every team is serious about winning, unless you're the Cowboys or the Jaguars or the Detroit Lions or
no, the Lions are serious.
I don't know what other team eats paint chips.
Jacksonville. There's a team that Jacksonville's just in the league. That's all. They're not really here to win anything.
They're just there.
Yeah.
They hand out free wins. That's what they do. They're like the best handout team that you can get.
The Saints are starting to move in that direction too.
I'm telling you right now, Ronbo, though. I'm telling you right now, we're going to be all right. Just because no one expects us. We have a somewhat easy schedule, but because we lost so much talent on defense, that defense is going to look even more scary because Robert Saleh has been – if you watched any of the New York Jets highlights of defense,
they were tough.
There's a lot of different nuances that he put in place, so that way there is more coverage. The wide nine is there at the core, but there are other moving parts that wasn't there with the wide nine with the Niners.
And it's hard to comprehend for DCs too, or OCs, should I say? Fam,
yeah.
Let me get you back in your car, Steven, and be careful. And I'll see you Sunday when there's going to be more adventures of the 49ers. And you just know it. They don't take no days off now.
Yeah. I'll see you tomorrow, Robert. No, I'll see you Sunday. Robert.
All right. Appreciate you, Steven. Always good stuff. All right, Phil. Have a great night. And yo, JT.
Hey, what's up, Ronbo?
JT, man, I'm thinking wild things, man. It's going to be fun here this draft because, like I say, this is not like the last 4 years, actually. We just been sitting there watching the 49ers do little things here and there during the draft. 49ers could get real creative this year because John Lynch has already put it on notice that, hey, look, I ain't even worried about defensive line. We ain't spending no big-time money on no free agents. We're going to fix that draft, or we're going to fix that D-line through the draft. John, you've got 3 people, 4 maybe. Really? So this thing about Abdul Carter and that rumor about trading up to the third pick, it may not be a joke, JT. What's going to happen there? And my Ashton Jitney, a running back in the first round, is that insane? Or do you entertain that possibility?
I would love to entertain that possibility, Rombo. I really would love to entertain that, but no, because there's a lot of other great running backs in the draft, and I got a running back. If you want to draft high on a running back, I got a running back in mind.
Give me
I
that
got
name.
one for you.
Yeah.
Let me see. I did a mock draft just a little bit ago.
Okay.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
And make sure he can impress Kyle Shanahan, because you know Shanahan is. Oh, you're a good running back. All right. Sit down. I'll let you know when I need you. All right. Christian, get in there. Oh, God, Kyle.
Oh, I don't know if I can pull it up. Oh well. I think
bring it up Sunday. Go ahead.
I'll bring it up another day. But anyway, I think what I did was I went defensive tackle, D line first.
Most people.
My first pick was Walter Nolan. I had to get him because the way I see it, if you're gonna get a
Penn
first
State.
crack at the apple, you got to get the best defensive tackle you can.
Yeah.
So I went with Walter Nolan.
I thought Graham out of Michigan was the number one DT. Although I do laugh because they say his arms are too short. Oh, he got so pissed off. You heard about that, right?
Yeah. Not only that, I don't know. I think Walter Nolan is more complete. But but the running back I was going to tell you about. I picked up Travion Henderson,
Okay.
Bobby T's guy. Bobby Turner, I think because I think
If
Bobby
Turner
Turner
likes
can
him,
probably recommend a Travion Henderson. He's got the total package. He could do everything. You know what I'm saying? I could see a combination with CMC and Travion Henderson, Rombo. That would be sweet.
Yeah, but JT, here's my question about that though. Was Bobby involved in the guys we picked up in the third round for the past 3 years? This is the only thing. There was Trace Sermon, TDP. I think there's one more. Those guys didn't do well at all. I wonder whose idea were those guys.
That's a great question.
Because the 49ers picked him up with no hesitation in exactly the third round. And if they pick up a running back in the third round this year, I'm going to be scared.
They can't miss. I'm gonna be kind of scared too because they picked up that other running back.
I call him TDP. The name is just too long.
TDP, yeah.
Trace
He
Sermon.
was a straight bust.
I mean,
I think Travion Henderson. I think that's a safe bet. You can't miss with Travion Henderson. I like that other running back from Ohio, from Iowa. That Caleb Johnson, I like him. He's pretty good. He's pretty smooth. He kind of reminds me of Frank Gore a little bit. I don't know why.
Good school too. Yeah, you got to make sure you guys are playing against tough competition. This is why when every time people talk about Stanford and Cal, people are high on this guy that reminds them of Fred Warner that goes to Cal. I mean, I all over the net. I see 49er fans talking about, get that dude. He even looks like Fred.
Oh,
I said,
Ronbo.
Yeah.
Ronbo, check this out. I think what was that on the 30 visit?
Mm-hmm.
I've
been checking that lately.
They had a Donovan Jackson go over there. The guard who can play tackle.
From what school?
From Ohio State.
Oh,
Donovan Jackson.
Now Ohio State. I'm interested no matter who that is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the guard who can play tackle. He's the one who played he was playing left tackle when what's his name went down? Josh Simmons went down.
Ohio starter.
Yeah.
He did a good job?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, he did. Ronbo, 49ers pick up a Donovan Jackson. That'd be sweet, Ronbo. I'd freaking love it. I'd fall off my chair.
At number 11, they just might do it because they're going to be exploring all kind of options as that draft rolls on. Because, here's the thing. If Shador drops in the draft to number 11, the 49ers are going to start taking bids. It's going to be a bidding war. People go, hey, yo, Kyle, man. Hey, listen, I got something for you, man. Give me that pick and take this one. So the 49ers be trading back, getting that pick, whoever it is, and another pick, and you go ahead and get you some Shador. It's a funny thing about it. Certain quarterbacks, Shador's one. The other guy's going, I understand, for Tennessee, no doubt about it. Shador's one. Ole Miss guy. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see people can call 49ers and ask to make a deal.
Yeah, that other caller, he made up another good point about what the Saints quarterback Derek Carr's arm. Yeah, he's done. I think we're going to probably have a better shot at a premium pick. But to be honest, I think we'd be better suited if we just trade back at least 2 weeks, and if we could get like 13 to 14 picks, Ronbo, we could solidify a lot. I'm telling you, Ronbo, we could get 13 to 14 picks. Yeah, we could solidify a lot of holes, Ronbo.
I know.
And that's my plan for the 49ers. I'm hoping that they just trade back.
I would bet money, JT, that the 49ers are trading back. They don't care. It's not about its abundance this year because they know they do well in the late rounds when it comes to drafting. It's what they need to do is stay out of the first round.
And not only that, Ronbo, like in the third round, between second and third round, I want as many cracks at the apple as possible. Like between let's just say like if you trade back to 25 and between 25 and 100, if you can get like 6 picks within 25 to 100, man, you can get a lot of good premium.
JT, you got to pump the brake. You got to pump the brake because we're out of time. But listen, I'm going to see you Sunday, and let's continue. All right?
Oh, all right, for sure, Ronbo.
Look at that for you, fam. All right.
All right.
JT. See,
all right.
We're all thinking adventure. I mean, as far as this draft goes. Speaking of which, my dude, each and every year for the draft, Tony, get in there.
Ronbo, I can't remember the last time I called in. It has to be a couple of years, right?
Oh, easily. Other than the fact that we see you because you're a busy guy these days. And Tony's like putting together things. But he's still very involved with football. Tony's going to join us for draft night. And, Tony, it's about time for your mock, too. I think we should think about that. I was getting ready to give you a call yesterday. I was thinking about that. Didn't get around to it. I know you got one going on anyway, so I'd have to warn you in advance. But, Tony, what brings on this call as early as tonight?
So the mock draft, I'm ready for that whenever. Draft night is going to be fun. I am currently working on my big board and my positional rankings. Going to be over 200 players. And I'll have that available for everyone watching that night. But today, I heard running back was the conversation. So I wanted to bring up a few guys to me that are being severely underrated and would come in day one and be easily the RB3. I think if Trenton Guerrero is the RB2. And when McCaffrey's gone, they have an out after this year if they want to get rid of him, depending on how the play goes and the injury is. They could be a starter as soon as next year. So
give me those
there
names.
are 2 different groups of guys I have here for you, Ronbo. Which one do you want first? Do you want the fun guys or the bell cows?
Give me the bell cow because you're talking about Christian McCaffrey. He is the bell cow, which, of course, we thought Kyle would never resort to, but he does. And if he's got another one, he would. And toughness is I want to know about, too.
Cool. So I have a few guys here, and I'm lower on this first guy than consensus, Caleb Johnson out of Iowa. As of right now, he's my eighth ranked running back, and I see a lot of people putting him in the 4th ranked, 5th ranked type of thing. The best way I can explain him is if you watch Derrick Henry play, his build-up speed, like you don't realize he's moving fast, but he's moving. It just takes him time to ramp up. The issue with Caleb Johnson for me is he doesn't have the power that Derrick Henry has, and I honestly think the vision is good. There were times where I wanted more, but in terms of a zone running bell cow, you can give this guy the ball 30 times a game. He's going to find a crease. He doesn't have the game-breaking speed, but he's so good at Iowa. He was chasing sack boxes, right? So we got used to playing in traffic and being able to get through, I don't want to say tight holes, but congested areas where you don't have a clear runway. He was able to kind of get a few yards more. And I think that's something a little bit underrated with his game. The pass protection, he's big. He's a big guy, so he has the frame for it. The same way I talked about Guerrero last year, where he's not quite this elite pass protector, but he has all the traits for it. So He'd be the first bell cow. I know a lot of people are familiar with him. This next guy is my 17th ranked running back, but he most definitely would have been in the top 10 last year. He's Devin Neal out of Kansas. And this is a guy I struggle with because he's really a good athlete, but he just has a way of playing where everything is super smooth. It's not fast, but he can get to the corner against average defenders, you could say. If he's playing like a Fred Warner, he'd never beat him to the edge. But against most teams in the league, I think he could hit the edge. But he's more of your in-between-the-tackles type. He can make you miss in a phone booth, not in a super cool Darren Sproles type of way, but he'll just get around you. He'll make super smart cuts. His peripheral vision is so good. He can see you at a different level of the defense, like first level behind the right guard. He'll see a second level linebacker over the left tackle, like 10 yards down the field, and he'll be able to set him up.
Skills.
The receiving game is awesome. The pass protection is really good. So to me, these are guys where it's not sexy, but they have a role on the team. Right now, we're lacking that bell cow player, in my opinion. So in terms of what the room needs, those would be two guys I look at first. That would be in the bell cow section.
Like that. Because you never know. And we need 6. Every year Kyle thinks we need only 4 is enough, and we end up with 2. We need 6. I need 2 on the practice squad and hide them. So, yeah, continue.
Definitely. The next 2 guys I have, these are speed guys. And the first guy I want to talk about is probably my favorite player in the class, the most fun film I watched. When I go through guys at different positions, I don't go in order of consensus. I just pick them randomly. And Jaden Blue out of Texas was a guy who I was seeing mocked in the 5th and 6th round. He's my RB5. He is. You put on the film, and the first play, you're like, oh, he's kind of fast. Second play, oh, he's really fast. He's like, to me, the fastest running back in the class, faster than the next guy we'll talk about here. But the receiving work is really what sold me. I think he is by far the best ball tracking any running back in the class. He made some crazy over-the-shoulder catches, tiptoe sideline catches. He has small hands, but he doesn't really drop anything. The route running, awesome. Classes linebackers, you get him on a wheel route, Ronbo, you can't stop it. I think even a guy like Fred Warner wouldn't be able to keep up with it if he wasn't prepared for it.
Oof.
So yeah, it's the receiving game. The home run speed is special. He's still kind of learning. He didn't get many snaps this year. He's kind of like in a backup role, kind of like Garendo, but he got even less playing time than Garendo. He's young. He's good. He had a lot of fumbles, and that's my main issue with him. He probably would have been RB4. And it's a big thing. I know Kyle Shanahan wants guys to protect the football.
Oh, he'll make you sit down forever if you don't. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's,
Tony,
to me, Jaden Blue's a huge
we're going to run out of time here, Tony. You know what? Give me your number 1 pick.
My number 1 running back?
Yeah, because we're going to run out of time. But, yeah, because I'm dying to know who you got. Because you're already at 4. Who's number 1?
If I had to pick one guy, it's Ashton Genty by far. He's the best running back I've ever scouted. I didn't start, true getting into the nitty-gritty till maybe 2020. Yeah. But he's everything you want. There's no weaknesses in his game.
I mean, balance, speed, strength. Good God, he's terribly good. I mean,
best contact balance I've ever seen in my life, Ronbo.
My God. Guys have him bent. His head touches the ground. His feet are still up. He's still got the ball. He shakes the guy off. He continues 0 to 60 in split seconds. Who is this dude? Damn. So, yeah, we agree on that then, wholeheartedly.
It's not close for me. He's the best running back this year and that I've scouted in a very long time. So he would be my first one, but I'm not taking him at 11, given the depth in the class and the guys I love.
Yeah. It's a fantasy of mine. I just thought about it because this class is so rich on defenders. But Tony, we're going to talk a lot in the days ahead. We got to go because we got a bunch of people on the phone. Always appreciate you know this. I'll get back to you shortly. I'll send you a note later. All right?
Well, take care.
All right, you too, Tony. Tony Rangieri. Follow him on X. Guys, always got good stuff coming up. Let's get white chocolate in here. Trey. It's Trey. Get in here, Trey.
Ronbo.
Yeah.
Ronbo, it's white chocolate coming in hot, baby.
I know.
Happy Friday.
It is, right? And Trey, we only got another couple of these before we're that Friday, that week. Well, Friday's day 2, but we got a couple of weeks to go. It's that time, Trey. It's that time.
Ronbo.
Tonight,
Ronbo.
man. Tonight, I'm Trey. I just want you to know, tonight, I said, through caution to the wind, good sense. I don't need it. I said, I looked at the tape of Gentry because of a guy on FS1 that recommended him as a first-round pick. I said, man, what are you talking about, man? Running back. I looked at him. Whoa, cat! Oh, Jesus! Okay, now I'm listening. Whoa, Tony really gets into investigating each one of these players like this. Gentry's at the top of his list. That's all. Gentry, that's what I say. I tell you. A first-round Gentry, white chocolate, what do you think, man? Is that ridiculous? Is that insane? Should people go to jail if they do it? What are you thinking here?
All right, Ronbo. Listen, I got a lot to say, as usual. And you know what? From like a realistic standpoint, I think the real conversation should be about like which running backs are going to be available in like the 4th round and beyond. You know what I mean?
That is good.
Because I really think just in such a deep class and just needs, some more pressing needs that the Niners have other than running back. I think they should probably wait until a little bit later in some of those mid rounds.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, there's always more, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ronbo, this topic tonight had me really thinking, right? Because, and we're all caught up on the trenches and corner and, I guess tight end as of lately with Warren, all of, that picking up steam. And like I said, I really do think they need to grab a running back later. But Ronbo, let me kind of flip the script here a little bit and maybe pose you a question, right?
All right.
Every major mock draft I see right now has Jonty pretty much penciled into number 6 to the Raiders. Right?
I read about that. I hate that.
He's pretty much penciled in.
I don't want them to have him.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it.
And here's the thing, Ronbo. Here's the thing, though. The more I'm thinking, because, I've even been basing my kind of situations around that, the Raiders will take him. But you know what? Tonight's prompt had me thinking more, and I don't think that's as settled as a lot of people think.
Is there a better wide receiver though, Chocolate? Is there a wide? The Raiders really do need Devontae's gone. They need a premier wideout, and if they have to flip a coin between a running back and a wideout, what are they going to do?
Well, Ronbo, that's actually kind of my point. Is that the Raiders need pretty much everything, right? Let's be honest. Other than bringing back a fellow white chocolate and Mad Max Crosby, and there was some Niners hype there for a minute with Mad Max, where I got sucked into that. I thought we had a chance at that for a second. I knew it. Yeah,
I don't want my feelings to get hurt. Yeah.
No, but here's the thing, Ronbo. The Raiders are. Listen, they're arguably in the toughest division in football, right?
No
and they have
doubt.
And they have a bad roster. So, they would be wasting Jonty's first few years anyway. You know what I mean? They're not.
Good point.
They're not a guy like that away from competing, even in that division, Ronbo. Not even in the league. In that division, they're not a Jonty away. You know what I mean?
Good point.
So again. They're the one team you see him penciled into. Now, the other one, when I look at the teams before the Niners, the other one I look at and go, okay, that really makes some sense, is the Bears, right? But other than that, it doesn't make sense for any other teams. And here's the thing, even with the Bears, Ronbo, they have DeAndre Swift, right? He's coming off of a pretty mid-year. I'll say he was 3.8 yards per carry.
That's not good.
But he's 26. They have a better O-line, so he's got, upside behind an improved O-line. And he's not coming off of a serious injury like CMC, right? So let me use that long build-up to kind of flip the script, Ronbo. If Jonty's available at 11, let's say he falls what do you do there? Like what?
Oh, hey, that is a possibility. You don't move, but you need a defensive tackle. There's a couple more that are available. There's a 4-man thing going. White chocolate. That's another dilemma that I'm thinking. There's Jonte. There's somehow Will out of Michigan. The cornerback is there. You got Graham for reasons unknown out of Michigan. He's there. What the? They're going to have to go with what they need the most.
And you know what, Ronbo? Here's the thing. Like that question is more of it's actually for everyone out there. That's for that best player available crowd, right?
Yeah.
Because you know what, Ronbo, I fall somewhere in the middle in terms of need. You know, you draft on need, but also kind of best player available, right? Like you got to find that right mix of where even sometimes you're just drafting the best player available at a need. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So again, I fall somewhere in kind of in between there for the most part. But like I said, this topic really had me thinking. Like, if you're Kyle and John, like, what do you do if Jonte falls to you?
Or
you know what I mean?
Because or Shador. White chocolate. Shador falls to 11. We don't need him, but I'm going to make these guys the biggest bidder that can call the quickest. By the time it gets around 9 and guys need a quarterback and they want Shador, they always wanted Shador, but they didn't think they had a chance. They call me up, Ronbo, you got him coming your way. I know what you're talking about. Give me the offer, man, because I don't have time to really waste any time. Make it good. All right, I'll give you a few minutes. And take the best offer that you can get. I'm a 2 second-round picks, buddy, this year and next year, and give me a 4th. I like the 4th round. No, I like the 5th round because we always do well. Oh, people would stop calling my ass. Cause they know.
I mean, here's the thing, Ronbo, with the mock draft season and leading up to the draft. Like my personal kind of thing is I don't like to get too caught up into the trades, up or down, just because that all hinges on what happens that night. You know what I mean? So it's to me, I just try to look at play it out what we're hearing and who people are kind of looking at and kind of play it from there. But like I said, Ronbo, this topic tonight had me thinking.
Oh man, it's fun stuff. Hey, listen, we got to stop. Let me see you Sunday and bookmark wherever you are, and let's continue.
All right, sounds good, Ronbo. Yeah, I got a lot more to say. I want to talk about Bayshaw too at some point. He's the next Raheem Mosterati. But hey, Ronbo, let me get a Niners holler.
You can get that. Niners! Wait a minute, let me. The Niners! He's WC, White Chocolate out of PA. Jay, I see you Sunday, fam.
Love it, Ronbo. Love the platform. Love you, man. Bang, bang. White Chocolate out.
Thanks, fam. Night. Hey, yo, Jeremy.
Okay,
hey, Rambo.
Hey, Jeremy. Well, we're sitting back here we've already drank a whole keg and lying and doing everything else. Hey, Jeremy, it's fun stuff, though, because before the draft, you got to get this off your chest because the draft night might be, we'll be saying, damn, they could have did any number of things, but they did that. Because this has happened to us a lot lately, right? So here we go.
Yep.
This is we're down low in the order because we got our ass kicked last year. And now you got all kind of things you have to do. There's all things you can do. You don't have a defensive line. The adventure is here. Jeremy, I'm looking at Genty. That dude is a running back from hell. I want him on this team. But you just heard everybody else who compared him and said he's going to go early.
If it was me, what I would do is I would get an OT like Kevin Bakers Jr. on the offense, or get me Mike Green on the defensive edge. I wait till running back to about the 4th or 5th, because after your 4th and 5th spots, that's where we pick our best.
I know, right? That's
so
strange.
it says a running back, for that. Give him a 5th round pick, and it'd be gold. We always get gold at 5th.
And that's really strange. That is so weird.
Our fifth, draw, we always get great. So let's just let it roll back to the 5th draw, and we'll get what we get.
Every year. So.
Every year. Kittle, all of them. Was all 5th rounds.
Kittle's a standard, but we've had some other guys come in the 5th round. I think we got Fred Warner. We got him in the 3rd.
Yeah, we got Fred Warner in the 5th round.
No, Fred was in the 3rd. And we got him a little earlier than 5th.
Was he?
Yeah. Because I thought so, too. Somebody corrected me about that a while back. I said, did we pick up Fred Warner in the 5th round? Nah, we got Fred in the 3rd. Well, you know what? Fred's a standout.
Was it Kevin Green that got drafted the 5th? This is a linebacker.
Recent? Maybe. Drew. Dre Greenlaw. That's
that's what
Dre
it was.
5th round.
No?
One of the best linebackers we've had in a long time. So, it's going to happen again this year.
Yeah.
Mustafa.
I'd draft a running back and a linebacker there if it was me around the 5th round. I think we got
such a good luck round. Yeah, I agree.
That way you got a great linebacker, your great runner. Leave the front picks for the offensive line and defensive players,
Yeah.
We seem to have more luck with our defensive players,
And Jeremy,
offensive line, if they're kind of close.
Offensive lineman, though, you can actually get a good... Pooney, we got him in the 3rd round, fam. Who the hell knew anything about Pooney?
Yeah, but that was last year.
That was luck.
Yeah.
You're going to get lucky every now and then.
Yeah, well...
There won't be a Pooney in the 3rd round for another decade. Not for us.
No. Not for us.
2nd round.
But, I just take a runner in the 5th, 4th round. That's when we seem to do our best.
And most teams think that way, so you're right. They're going to be there. But the advantage you have, if you pull a Jitnia in the 1st round, everybody else around the league says, God, Jesus, I had him on my big board at number 3rd round. What the hell did they do? Niners.
Yeah. That's it. That's it.
Because have you watched Detroit, right? You see him with that combination they call Knuckles and Sonic. You see, every time I watch that last couple of years, it's Jesus Christ. One is as bad as the other. Also, in Atlanta, with B. John and that other running back they got, I said, that's what's going on in the NFL nowadays. You got dual running backs that'll kill you. And then the quarterback's job becomes much less. He becomes more effective. I said, 49ers, CMC, you couple him up with another dynamic running back that can take over in a couple of years. Oh, look out.
Oh, boy. It's on. Because then Purdy's got a little bit more experience.
Yeah.
He'd been in his prime then,
Yeah.
That might work out just right for at least 2 more Super Bowls, maybe, if we're lucky.
You know what I'm saying? That's exactly right. Yeah. See, the new regime's reestablishing itself, okay.
Because Purdy don't got the strongest arm, but he's got an accurate deep arm.
And also,
that makes any sense.
And no, it makes a lot of sense. The best quarterbacks do. This thing about quarterbacks having a cannon, it's overrated. You look at all the quarterbacks who've got these incredible arms. They're getting their ass handed to them every week.
Yeah, they're getting their ass handed to them every week.
Josh Allen is the only guy in the league that can throw the ball out of the whole state of New York that is really worth all that about his arm. Because Josh Allen has so much more. He brings so much to the table than just that arm. Josh Allen, that's like an offensive mind and a running back and a quarterback all in the same body. You're not going to get – there's no more Josh Allen.
You can't get him. Man, I'm glad we got Purdy, but I wouldn't pass him up.
No, Brock will be fine. Brock, he does well with Kyle's offense because Kyle's always wanted a guy
that
seems to be in sync with his way of thinking. Brock made plays that Kyle will not take. He will not give Brock credit for. But that play he made that year that he threw a shot to George Kittle, Kittle was open, but Shannon goes in the press conference and says, that was a good play, but Juwan Jennings was standing on the goal line.
That ain't what I called.
He says, God, stop it. Stop it.
I was like, Kyle, sometimes it's good that he didn't go by what you called.
Yeah. You know he did a good job. You appreciate it, too. You still want anybody to know it's not the play I called. You should have told him you did make that call.
if I was him, I would be crippled. Yeah, that's a play I called.
I would have lied. Brock would have jammed me up about it later. Hey, Coach, I thought we called for. I know.
Yeah.
Let it ride. Let it ride, Brock.
But it looked good.
So
But to me, I'd do something like that. Move back, or if you don't get them two, I'd move back to about the 18th. Get me some more picks. To me, that's more better than getting something that we're going to regret later.
Yeah, and at 18, you're gonna get your choice from a lot of good defensive linemen, and this is what we're hurting for the most.
Yeah,
actually. So, yeah, you can get them in the second round, third round too, from what I understand.
Yeah, you can. That'd be possible with this draft.
Yeah.
So I get offensive lineman, wait to my second one to move back a little bit, get me a offensive line person if I could.
Oh yeah, Jerry, you got about 12, 13
great
picks
one
now, so yeah.
And then move back and move back from 11 to 18 and get about instead of 11 picks, have about 16, 17 picks.
I mean, I couldn't even use them all this
year. If we could get something like that, we couldn't go bad. Now we have the picks back it up.
That's right. And if you got any trash, you can throw it out without. You still got some good picks.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yes. Jerry,
that's my deal. Move back a little bit, get about 17 picks. Don't worry about it.
Oh, God, you got to save some for next year. Go. Jerry, we got to go. I'll tell you what, I'll be back Sunday looking for you, okay?
Okay.
All right. Night, Jerry.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Night, fam. Yo, E.
Lombo, what's good with you?
Oh, yeah, I'm sitting there tripping like I ain't never tripped. I'm telling you, fam, if the 49ers do something crazy over tonight, I'm bracing myself for it. I don't know what they're going to do. Running back, I know GT in the first round is absolutely ridiculous, and I ought to be brought up on charges for even thinking that way, as well as that FS1 guy, too. But I like it. I said, you know what? If this draft is every bit as stacked as they say it is, getting GT... I'm going to call GT. I like the way that sounds. GT first round. Now Kyle has to think about whether I'm going to run CMC to death. I got to get me some GT on this field. Okay, but Chris, let me talk to you for a minute. What is it, Coach? I'm telling you right now, I'm going to have you fresh as a daisy week 17. Let me do this. Trust me on this. You're going to get plenty of carries, all right? But I gotta incorporate both you guys in this game and make this game easier to win, all right? Kristen's got to accept that, fam. I've already talked myself into it. It ain't even happening. E, stop me from talking. What do you think about my idea, FS1's idea, and the reality of the situation?
All right, say it one more time, because I didn't hear you because I asked you off mute. My bad.
No, listen, I'm saying Gene T is actually, you can actually draft up and get him. Wait a minute, draft up. That would be suicide.
Who?
Running back, Ashton Gene T.
Oh. All right,
this dude got damn near 3,000 yards running on the ground last year. If you ever watch the footage of him, the dude's body is not like a human being. I seen big dudes grab him, his torso. He got the ball in one hand. They bent him all the way down to the ground. His legs stayed planted firmly. He threw the fool off. He snapped back up. He ran for another 10 or 15 yards. Says, wait a minute. That's not even human. And that dude that grabbed him was no small person. He wrestled him off, threw him off. His straight arm is ridiculous. He's like a short version of Big Joe. I mean, the dude is crazy good. I said, Kyle's game is ignited by his offensive game, his running game. If you get that dude, Kyle, I can use CMC as a wide receiver. I can put him in positions where the DC is thinking, oh, wait a minute, what's he? Why is he lining up there? Call timeout. No, we don't have the ball, Coach. Okay, brace yourself. Now I've got DC's freaking out. There's so many options you could do with a great run game. But it could be absolutely insane to think about trading up for a guy that's going to be a running back that should be picked up later. But the Raiders are going to pick him up at number 6, and you know this. And the Raiders, talk to it.
If the Raiders get him, then he'd be going backwards probably.
Well, he ain't got no choice.
Yeah. 11, if he's there. would I pick him? Like I said, I like the corner too, but that's a lot of talent, and we need talent, but we need some big men to make a team.
Oh, badly. We ain't got no defensive linemen.
Oh, but I know I only got a little bit of time. I wanted to throw this by you, and I just wanted to think about it because the other guy was talking. Shador Sanders might fall. Why are we trading away this pick instead of keep it
Shador?
And trade away Purdy?
If that
He's
happens,
$100 million guy.
If he comes down and falls into the lap of number 11, that option is going to be something that everybody's going to scream and yell about. Now, what's going to end up happening if Shador comes into the league, and like you're saying, we trade down and let them have Shador at 11. Whatever team he goes to, Shador looks like straight money. Oh, that's going to be pretty funny.
Bad.
You're right. The 49ers are going to have
And we got a 7th-round draft pick what got hurt. Now we got Mr. Collins in, or whoever, I forgot his name. I think it's Collins. We got him in, who you wanted to pick anyway. Now instead of having that 7th-round pick, we got 2 first-round picks, and none of them is making $100 million.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
If you're a business, let's start business talk. Business talk, you need to get rid of the big. That's what you say. You want to get older. You want to save some money. I mean, you want to get younger. You want to save some money. You're saving money by getting rid of that $100 million instead of taking. And now you got a 4th-round draft pick or a 3rd-round draft pick. I don't know, and off $100 million, not out your pocket, with another 1st-round draft pick. A prodigy at that. And his Cal messed up. We got his father as coach.
Yeah. Kyle's not involved to making that final decision this year. From what I understand, Kyle's been relegated to, I think they're lying about it. Kyle's going to have some interaction with that, but still.
Yeah, that's the war room. He's in the war room. He's definitely in the war room.
Oh, God, yes.
So he's going to have a decision, or it ain't going to be one decision. It's going to be 10 people probably. And you're just going to have a 10% decision, but
Salah's going to be involved.
You're going to have it. Yeah, your opinion is definitely going to be heard. Because you ain't going to be the head coach. Man, you better get me off this team if I ain't going to be heard.
Yeah.
I am the coach, ain't I?
Yeah. I mean, if they break out arguing during the draft, they don't have time for that. They better have that all established as to what we're going to do. Don't come in here and start arguing about that in the war room because it's too late.
Well, I want debates. I want you to be a static or because I want different opinions. It's going to be an offensive line coach. He got to have his person. Defensive line coach, he going to his person. Wide receivers, we can't get separation. He going to his person. Running backs, because, somebody hurt. I don't know about Gentry. I don't know about the cornerback. Like I said, we got to do a lot. And all the 3rd and 4th round picks, are they going to start? We can sit here and say,
this year they might.
The draft is picked. Maybe. Might. Question mark.
Mm-hmm. Well, they don't have any choice.
I mean, I looked at our
as
draft.
far as defensive line.
I looked at our draft. I looked at our draft classes for the past 10 years. It wasn't as bad as what we've seen. If you look at the names, before they got on the field, and you look at the names, I said, they did all right. But when they got on the field, like, Trey Sherman and all that, just nothing.
Yeah.
Ambry Thomas. So
he's looked so good in the beginning. I've never seen anything like that. And then turned to poo-poo the next year.
Yeah,
he was right. God, he was good. What's wrong with him?
And we still got rid of Hufanga and Greenlaw. All right, back to Greenlaw for a second. I live in Texas. I play in California, but I want to go to switch my job to Denver. Did that make any damn sense?
No. He wanted to be the man. He wants to run his own
not
defense.
No cold weather. You ever played in the snow?
No, and I can't imagine. When it got cold in Cali, I wasn't comfortable.
Man, listen, you don't want to play in the snow. Yes.
No, I don't want to play in anything.
I'm Jersey.
You get below 50 degrees and I'm out. I can't function.
Yes, I'm Jersey. Your feet swell up, your hands, it ain't good.
Numb.
So you don't want to play in Denver.
I hate that.
Not if you from Texas. You got a house in Texas.
I don't know. Greenlaw.
Yeah. See?
Greenlaw's banking on most stadiums are indoors these days, I guess. I don't know.
That's what I said. That's a whole lot of
Fred
cap.
together could have stood. They could have ruled the league for the next 2 to 3 seasons easily.
And that's your man. So you ain't gonna leave your man for
Right.
some question mark again.
And then you go and go to Texas. Where is he at? Denver. Okay, you the man in Denver. Okay, but Dre,
Denver.
you guys you're in the toughest division in the AFC. Maybe
Yeah,
the toughest
that ain't
division
it.
in the NFL. Now what you gonna do? Okay, but yeah, I guess he believes in himself. I got no problem with that. But still, we unfinished business in San Francisco, man. Come on, man.
Yes, unfinished business as your teammates.
But we got to go. I'm gonna tell you what though. Sunday, we're not gonna leave this alone anyway. Let's revisit this. All right.
All right, let's get it out there. Let's trade Purdy. Let's pick up Sanders. That's $100 million.
Somebody may be thinking that way. I don't know. We'll see.
$150 million. I ain't even gonna say $100 million. That's $150 million.
Damn.
Stop playing.
I'll see you Sunday.
All right. See ya. Ronbo Sports. Gang, gang.
Thanks.
Let's go.
Thanks, Z. Can you imagine the 49ers let Brock go and go ahead and pick up Shador? But see, this is the unknown. You got to be careful with the quarterbacks about that. Shador needs to come in the league, and then, because what is going on with Vegas and other people talking about Shador may not even make the top 5? Why? I don't. Nigel.
Hey, Ronbo, what's going on, man?
Nigel just doing all kind of strange things and drafted up to pick up one of the best running backs maybe in the game since Saquon Barkley. It's the draft is all it is a gamble. You shoot, you might hit the target. It's like going to a carnival or something like that. You want to impress your girl by getting this prize for her. You take it up, you buy 4 or 5 tokens, you spend all kind of money, and you miss or you hit on the first shot, right? Now this is the thing with the draft every year. It's a shot in the dark. Am I going to pick the right guy? Or are people going to talk about me like I'm an ass, and the owner's going to talk about firing me after the next season? It's a real gamble. So,
It is.
Gene T, the first year on is probably outrageous, but what do you think? And Gene, if you don't know anything about Gene T, he's a running back. Spectacular running back.
Is he? Yeah. I haven't. Yeah, I think last time I talked to you, Ronbo, I'm still kind of on the same grind. I got a lot of school stuff going on right now, so I'm super busy. But I kind of I have my opinions about the team. I've been super hardcore for a long time, Ronbo, and you're right, exactly right about the draft. It's a crapshoot. Like, you can go and get a guy, and he looks the part. He looks like he's going to be legit. Test out on everything well. Sure. Mentally seems like he's in it, and
he's out of the right.
That's
conference.
the guy, and it doesn't turn out to be the guy. He turns out possibly to be a bust. And unfortunately, Ronbo, we had one of those guys in Trey Lance. Yeah. That is the most quiet, biggest bust of all time, in my opinion. And I loved Trey Lance coming out of high school, out of college, and into the NFL because of his upside. But
it was
it's just the truth.
It was that trade, 2 first-round.
That was the craziest part. Yeah. But like you said, that's a crapshoot. That's something. Sometimes when you see a talent and you're like, that could be that guy, you might go all in, and sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. And actually, Ronbo, I just played poker about an hour ago, and I'm up. Yeah. And you know what? There's times where you question yourself.
Yes.
Because if you have real money on the table,
yep,
you have to question yourself.
You better.
And when things get, higher stakes come into play, your mind goes in all different types of directions. Like, what could be, what could you lose, what could you win, though? You have to think of that as well.
See, that's the thing.
What do you have?
That's what gambling's all
and
about.
what can you afford to pay? So, Ronbo, I heard you all talking about Shadur Sanders, Ronbo, and everybody says stuff. I'm just going to say, Ronbo, like, I feel like as a parent, and I'm kind of relating here to
Deion
in any little minuscule way to Deion Sanders. I look at my son and I look at myself, and you're real about who you are. I feel like Deion Sanders is that guy, man. he's Showtime. This guy was legit, Ronbo, as they come. He helped win Super Bowls, man. So when he says something and I see certain things, I have to take that kind of seriously, because Shador, he's very talented, and I've seen him play. He has a very strong arm for his size, and he has intangibles that are, he's legit, I think. But we have Brock Purdy, and I'm kind of at a conundrum right now, Ronbo, because like the last caller said, you're committing to Brock Purdy. If you pay him, you're saying that's the guy that we believe will take us to the promised land, but also win it. Okay?
Yeah.
There's offers out there, and there's all kinds of stuff for trade. So who knows, Ronbo? Because you look at Kyle Shanahan, he's passed on quarterbacks. He's traded for quarterbacks. They've gone all in on certain things, and you can't put anything past them. But I don't know. I don't know, Ronbo. What do you think? What do you think is going through Kyle's mind right now? Do you think he's actually entertaining that?
Fam, my brain is scrambled like eggs about this. I'm going in all different directions. I like you're saying, and like E said, you go ahead and you save that money, you get Shador. But what I don't want to do is have Kyle start from scratch with another quarterback. The risk is higher now. If you're going to go in probability, if you're going to go and take Shador, you get rid of Brock. You've been training him for 3 years. You brought him along to a place that you probably shouldn't turn back on. But again, still, you save that money, and it is possible Shador is going to be a better quarterback than Brock. It's a dilemma that you'll just never know the answer to.
Ronbo, what if we do that thing? What if they? I heard Chris Canty talking on ESPN earlier, and he said to trade T.J. Watt for Brock Purdy. Would you do that and then go and draft Shador? I mean, imagine T.J. Watt and Nick Bosa, Ronbo, on opposite sides. My God. Woo! My God. He's 30 years old, Ronbo, but all I need is 2 years from you, dude. Give me 2 years. Give me this year. Give me next year.
Yeah.
And we can win a Super Bowl with a defense like that, Ronbo. Fred Warner, are you kidding me? Our upcoming defensive backs, that would be an absolute beast. And then we got Robert Saleh back, okay? So there's another piece of the puzzle. I mean, I'm just going to say, Ronbo, if they go for Shador and they trade Brock, I'm not going to be mad. But I'm also not going to be mad if they stay with Brock, because he's done his thing here too.
He's got to come in. Yeah. But he's coming in with a lot of young people. So it's not as far-fetched as it might have been 2 years ago. But now it may be an option that the 49ers might explore. I don't know. What do you do? Well, Brock, you just let him walk, I guess. Yeah, that would be the right thing to do. You could trade him, trade for him. Somebody will give you something. Yeah. Maybe even the Steelers.
Yeah.
You know, all these teams are talking about how they'd like to get Brock Purdy for this and that. And then somebody put out a rumor that the 49ers did dangle him for a second, but nobody called. I don't believe that one. But, you know,
But also, you know, what's funny is that they're definitely not going to pay him before the draft. I mean, that's obvious. Like,
I mean,
that's not going to happen.
Between now and the draft night. I mean, God.
Yeah. Right. So they you know, they kind of leave speculation open, I think. John and Kyle, they're the kind that they go and hide in the corner and look over their shoulder, talking and whispering to each other, and then they come back with some crazy plan sometimes. And I think Jen York is kind of like that younger friend that's like, yeah, let's do it. And so they kind of have autonomy to do what they want a lot, you know. We'll see what happens, though.
Yeah, we will. Nigel, we got to go. And I'll be looking for you Sunday. And let's see what develops between now and then, because even Brock might get signed between now and then. Who knows?
Oh, yeah, he might. He deserves it, Ronbo. He's balled out for us, Ronbo. I like Brock a lot. So.
Yeah.
But you all have a good night. Thanks for taking my call, man. And we'll see what happens. I'll be staying tuned, and I'm always watching your show and all the callers and stuff.
Thanks,
man. Haven't called in a while, but y'all have a good weekend. Thanks for taking my call, man.
Looking forward to hearing from you. All right, Nigel. Night, fam. Okay, I'm a little curious about this new 49er Brian. It doesn't talk like 49er Brian, who would not. Shane McMahon, have you stooped to a new low? Brian, that's there's no way you wrote that down. Shane, God damn it. You know what? I should just get rid of him because the dude is absolutely a pain in the ass. All right. Well, Brian, did he take your name? All right. Hey, Tony, come on in.
Ronbo.
Tony, man, I'm having a good time with this with this madness of the draft, and I every time I come up with these thoughts about Kyle Shanahan, I say, Tony would definitely say amen to that and amen to that. I think we all criticize Kyle's madness, and sometimes his penchant to just suddenly have a brain fart. But if in the draft, I'm glad they took him out of the room, so to speak, as they say. I know he's still involved, but maybe he's not making any major decisions or decisions on his own. But Tony, that I have a running back in the first round, I don't think a lot of people agree on. If you see this kid, though, Tony, if we're sitting there in the stands together and we're watching this kid, and I said, Tony, let me tell you this kid right now. I want to draft up and pick him up in the first round. And you see him, I wonder what you'd say. Ashton Jeetney is ridiculously good. But Tony, what do you think as far as the idea of taking a running back in the first round and drafting up to get him?
Well, you know what's going to happen if we pick a running back in the first round, Ronbo. Young Jalen's going to be on your ass.
I know, because I mentioned him earlier about that. And Jalen said it. He wasn't laughing. He wasn't joking. He was serious.
Ronbo, I'm going to come at you. From a totally different angle today.
Right.
All right. So we can bang heads together and look at the bigger picture. All right. Yeah. This team is going to come together a lot more next year than this year because we've got the same amount of picks next year. You lost roughly about 20 players. You've got 11 picks. All right. So in my professional way of thinking is you've got to accumulate more picks. If you can go back 2 or 3 times and still pick in the first round, late first round, and acquire four more picks or whatever, you've got 15, 16 picks. The reason for my way of thinking, Ronbo, is I want you to think like this, is we've got a money restriction on our team at the moment, right? So how do we get around that to make the best team available for us to go into the season? Which means we've got to pick as many players as we can out of the draft and try and hit on as many of them as we can as starters. Because, right, the more rookies we can start that look like starters, obviously you're not going to start them just because you need to, but the more rookies we can start, the less money we have to pay out. Okay? Which means that leaves us a lot more cash to play with when it comes to veterans, UDFAs, mid-season splashes, and things like that. Make sense?
Absolutely. And to exaggerate that, because some people are saying you should draft down and see if you can come out of this draft with like 15 to 16 picks. So you're definitely, it's the right way to go.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Ronbo. We have to look at this picture from a different point of view because you're trying to field a team that's going to get you to the playoffs, or maybe to the Super Bowl. But whatever the case may be, you've got to go into this draft with that picture in your mind because the next year you know that the more picks you hit on this year, the less pressure you're going to have on yourself and the team next year. And you can pick the sexy pick next year if need be.
Yes.
If you have that luxury.
That was the path to the first time. And last year, don't forget about those guys. You got 5 guys out of last year's draft already, Tony. So, yeah.
And, I mean, these guys on their draft board, like nobody knows which way the draft's going to go. Right? So you're going to pick whatever position. You're going to have first choice, second choice, third choice, fourth choice. Because if this guy doesn't fall to us, what's our second choice? If that guy doesn't fall to us, what's our third choice? What's our fourth choice? Maybe even fifth.
Yeah. Well, the big boys loaded.
So they're going to have hundreds of names on their board, you know, to pick from. Obviously, going to pick best available. And then you've got to throw into that equation the most important positions of need, right? I mean, you can win a Super Bowl with a top 10 defense, but you can't win a Super Bowl with a top 20 offense.
Yeah, that's true.
Offensive line, I mean. Yeah. Right? You can't win a Super Bowl with a top 20 or with a 20th ranked offensive line.
Yeah.
You know, we watched the Super Bowl. It's called trench warfare.
Yep.
All right.
Comes out there.
So that's the way my mind goes when it's coming to this draft. I'm not worried about Gentry or who's going to be picked at 11. I'm not even worried about that. I'm worried to maximize the potential of my team with the maximum amount of picks, which leaves me room to pick UDFAs and a few veterans and things like that later on. I can bargain. I've got bargaining power.
Oh yeah,
I've got a lot of money.
You're going to have it this year, actually. Yeah,
and you don't have to pay those rookies sweet FA for the next 3 years. No matter how good they are.
Right? Because there's always going to be great talents. Every year there's going to be great talents. There's no doubt about it. And, you know, you got to go get them in the first round. I got an excessive amount of draft picks. Let's go get them next year.
Yeah, well, you know, the beautiful thing about the thing is you hit on all these draft picks and you know they're going to be superstars. You know, you got 3 years that you don't have to pay them jack shit.
Anyway.
So the preseason games this year for our team are going to be super important to evaluate these dudes.
Oh, God, yes.
You know what I mean? There's 1,000,001 factors that go into this, not just blah, blah, blah. We're on the Ronbo show talking shit, you know.
Oh, yeah.
If we're going to, yeah, that's reality. If we're going to think of it from a serious standpoint, that's the way I believe. You've got to look at it.
And they got to think that way, too, actually. Tony, we got to stop. I tell you what, though, we you know, I'll see you Sunday. See what develops. And everybody's pulling for Brock Purdy to get paid between now and Sunday, if he's even going to. So.
Well, there's another factor. You know? So watch out for Jalen, Ronbo.
James, are we waiting on now? Oh! Tony, always a pleasure. Cheers, my dude.
All right, brother. Shout out to Evan Ellis, Big Show, Papa D, the rest of the crew. Brian, I don't drink Foster's, bro, so don't tell me to lay off Foster's. I was watching the chase.
I told you guys.
All right, brother. Cheers.
Cheers, Tony. Yeah, I could tell. Tony's not a Foster's guy, I could tell. Hey, yo, Bill.
Hey, circle back to me after the next person.
Can do. All right. And next person is it's Tony ATL. Tony, get in here. Boy, Tony, I'm
Ronbo, good evening. How are you?
Good, Tony, doing great. It's funny, man. I'm watching you doing battle with the same old names, and I think somebody I mean, that is not 49er Brian. Boy, I tell you what, the dude is pushing me right about the limit. You know, Tony, do I not let trolls carry on, and they become a fabric, and everybody enjoys beating up on them, and it's an exchange. It's kind of entertaining. But this dude, he is really a pain in the ass.
And then they go in and change their names, Shane McMahon, Vince McMahon. I was telling 49er Brian, I don't know who that is. I'm not responding
That's
to
not
him.
49er Brian.
They change their names, add on accounts.
Shane, I got to get rid of you, man. You and every one of your guys. You know, if you
bye, Shane McMaggot. Later.
Be smart enough to know if I come in talking like Shane McMahon, you walk like a Shane McMahon, you talk like a Shane McMahon, you are a damn Shane McMahon. Obviously, you're gonna get caught. Why do you do such ignorant stuff? Why, God?
Because they're ignorant.
Okay, you know what? All right, I don't see him now. Fine, good. Anyway, Tony, you know there's gonna be some really acrobatic things done in the first round in every team. Not only, Tony makes sense, and I suspect the 49ers are going to apply rationale that makes sense on opening night, because we're in a situation now where we're in big trouble from last year. We're high in the draft order, so you need to take advantage of it. You can't go, big game hunting with a high-powered rifle, shooting from 500 yards away to hit something. You got to be careful here. So, I don't know. What are you thinking about Genty? What do you think about that whole thing about running high risk, trading up or down? What are you thinking? And apply that to what you guys are going to do, too.
I want us to trade down, but so far I haven't heard anything. Like I've been saying in your chats, your team is intriguing to me because y'all got, 11 picks right now?
Yeah.
If y'all trade down to get more picks, that would be smart, but nobody knows what you guys are going to do. Are you going to take a defensive lineman or are you going to take an offensive lineman?
I know, right?
And I know most of the time you thinking defensive lineman, but y'all would be shocked if y'all took an offensive lineman at 11.
The 49ers have been waving their hand around, though. They seem to be calling in nothing, but they do this. They've been calling in nothing but defensive linemen. Not one OT. Not one offensive lineman. And it says, are the 49ers trying to tell us something? Or are they playing that old game that makes no sense? And Tony, I'll never understand why you try to lead other GMs down another path. They're not biting. Tony, would you bite? If I'm sitting there doing nothing but taking in running backs, and I really need a wide receiver, you know better, right? Is that concerning you? Ronbo's just tripping, right? So, I don't know why they do these things. Really don't get it.
Ronbo, doesn't that sound like you remember the movie Draft Day with Kevin Costner?
Right.
That's one of my favorite movies.
I've watched it.
You remember how he traded back up?
Yeah.
And the guy that he traded with earlier in the day that was eating the pancakes is his rival.
Yeah.
And he ended up with the pick ahead of him. And he said he was taking their quarterback, which Kevin Costner was bluffing.
Right.
But the guy said, unless you give me all my first-round picks back, all of them. Remember that?
Yeah, I do. And the hesitation went on, and the guy called back, and everybody standing in the room next to Costner. Yes! I see. Boy, that was close. Ooh, that was close. So, yeah, it's a game they play.
But it was intriguing what you guys said. If Shadir slipped to 11, if he slipped past, because the Bears are taking the top offensive lineman. New England might take an offensive lineman. There will be no more than one or two of the top tackles gone before you guys pick at 11. If Shadir slips to 11, y'all going to be getting a lot of calls while y'all on the clock.
See, that's when you can bid. The bidding war is on now. They opened that auction up right now. But I need to do it around 8 so I can get more calls and be able to tell certain people no or yes. But how can you project that early, though, Tony?
Ronbo, those bottom feeder teams, the teams that pick ahead of you, Chicago doesn't need a quarterback. New England doesn't need a quarterback.
I know.
Tennessee, they're going to take one. I don't think the Giants are going to take one, but I don't know.
They'd better, actually.
And then, did you hear today in NFL news, who's that? Drew Lock, who left his free agency, signed with the Giants for 1 year. Now he's back in Seattle, right?
Yeah.
So they got him and that quarterback from Washington that they had in the trade. I don't know if they're going to cut him or what. But also, Joe Flacco, who was comeback player of the year with the Browns in 2023, re-signed with the Browns today.
With the Browns, I saw that.
So that tells me Cleveland ain't taking the quarterback.
Well, Tony, why? Because they could Flacco and who else is in Cleveland?
Deshaun Watson, and they traded for Kenny Pickett, who was the Steelers' former first-round pick, who got traded to Philly, and Cleveland traded for him. So they got Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, and Deshaun Watson.
But I'm thinking Deshaun Watson's not playing this year, I don't think. And I think most likely you don't have to keep Pickett and Flacco. And they got Pickett first because he was there. Flacco became available. I think the Browns will go with Flacco. Pickett gets cut, and they bring in that new quarterback.
Well, they could do that. And I think Flacco, you remember he was the the comeback player of the year.
Oh yeah, I'm keeping Flacco.
Led the Browns to the playoffs.
Oh yeah, Pickett is Pickett. He's gonna have to find another job at some point.
I don't think Deshaun Watson's going to ever play again, Ronbo. That's just my opinion.
I mean, last year he came back and got hurt right away. I don't think his body's made
too
for
much
football.
time has passed.
Yeah, you can't take that much time off.
Too much time has passed, and too much money has been lost.
Yep. Oh God. Ooh, that is the biggest heist. I mean, that didn't go to court or criminal.
Remember, his contract was the only one that's fully guaranteed.
Oh God, Tony. That's okay because the rest of the league knows don't do that.
Exactly.
It's never going to happen again.
Yeah. Wow. So, Ronbo, we need more picks. I don't know if I want us to trade back at 15, but I don't think we will because there's a lot of edge rushers, and we'll be a fool to pass up on one.
I was going to say, well, what are your needs?
Because we don't have a third-round pick.
Yeah, you mean you can't. Yeah.
We don't have a fifth or sixth-round pick, and we got 2 7s.
Wow. Yeah, you need picks. Tony, you guys are gonna. You got to you know what? Yeah. How are you gonna nurse that team? You guys need what? You need an edge because you just lost. What's his name?
We need an edge. They're talking about re-signing Matthew Judon because he's still unsigned, and they're talking about bringing back Simmons too, the other safety.
Yeah, you guys want to have a few extra bucks since you didn't make any off-season deals.
If they just listen to me, remember that trade proposal I had? Trade a first-round pick to Jacksonville for Trayvon Walker, and they give us their second-round pick at 36.
Yeah.
We'll have that other edge.
That's scary because your division is now it's between you and the Panthers. I don't think
that's a tough break with New Orleans. I heard about Derek Carr. That's a tough break.
It really is, and he's had a lot of bad luck this year. But Nolans ain't gonna be in it. I think that's gonna throw them for a loop. And they got a lot of things they need.
They pick what at 9? I think they're 9, 2 picks ahead of you guys.
Just shows you how bad they.
So they're gonna take a quarterback. Rambo, there's a quarterback. I forgot
yeah, you're
his
right.
name. Played at Louisville. I like him a lot.
Dart?
He might go in late in the first round, early second round. I like that. I like him better than the 2 quarterbacks ahead of him.
Oh, no kidding. Okay, because the Ole Miss, there's a kid from Dart that people are talking about. His name is Dart? Anyway, there's a few quarterback names. No, I think his name is Dart, Dart. He reminds you a lot of, according to the way the one guy.
Oh, Jackson Dart at Ole Miss?
Yeah. Yeah, Jackson.
Yep. But the quarterback I'm talking about from Louisville is Tyler Slow.
But
Slow, Slough. He's good, Rambo.
Slow, yeah.
He's 24 years old, so he's like a little older.
Yeah,
Rambo, he can make all the throws. Somebody's going to grab him.
Well, look at Bo Nix is how old. I mean, that's a good thing, really. I don't know why I need a quarterback that's 21 years old, so I got to come in and go through all them growing pains with his ass. I need him to come in and at least know pretty much what he's doing, and I just need to lead him down the right road. So I ain't got any problem with 24-year-old.
And Rambo, with all the deepness in the edge rushers, defensive linemen, offensive linemen, y'all got to get an offensive lineman with y'all second-round pick. Y'all got to.
Tony,
too many out there.
And they are going to get out. I just don't know when. So we got to run. We ran the clock. But Tony, Sunday. It seems like every day something's coming up now. If nothing else, the writers are providing all this madness. Let me see you Sunday.
I thought it was kind of interesting that Seattle went back and re-signed Drew Lock after being gone a year, and Cleveland went back and got Joe Flacco after being gone a year. And remember, I told you Cleveland should have re-signed Joe Flacco this past year.
Oh God, Tony, production's gonna cut us because we got to listen. Don't forget that, and let's do it Sunday,
sir.
All right,
sir.
Great night, fam. Yeah, Tony, he's always got great stuff. We always got to try it in a little amount of time. Hey, yo, Bill, are you ready?
I'm ready. You caught me at the wrong time. I had nature calling.
I knew you were going to say that. I said, what? I was going to say, what, was nature calling or something?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Girl, too much
that never happened. Yeah. Just a lot. So,
Bill,
anyways, with it being called. 6 minutes to my birthday. Might as well go ahead.
Yeah, well, you know, we since we did it the other day, I don't know if we want to put people through that again.
No, I wouldn't want to. It's not even my birthday yet, so it's all good.
Bill, the craziest thing that could happen in the first round is 49ers trade up to get a running back. Is there any other thing that it could be absolutely insane? Because I want this to be a fun
trade up. They're not going to trade up again.
But what I want is this to be an exciting. I don't want to be able to anticipate every move the 49ers make. I've been wrong about that anyway for years. Every time I say what they're going to pick up in the first round, they don't do it. I don't know who Mike McGlinchey is. I didn't know who he was then, and I definitely didn't know now. You know, because we got a guy that I'm not sure what he did for our team. Solomon Thomas, in the first year, I'm trying to remember the last time I got that pissed off. And then you get Javon Kinlaw in the first round. Javon Kinlaw, that was terrible. Well,
I think they're going to trade down.
1, 2, 3, 4.
To be honest,
they probably will.
You know, I think they're going to get a lot of picks trading down. I think we're on a rebuild year.
Hey, Bill, don't use the word rebuild. No. Vegas says we're going to win the NFC West. So automatically we're going to the playoffs.
We can rebuild. You know, Ronbo, we can rebuild and still win it.
Well, yeah.
I mean, look, who are the Rams? The Seattle Rams are done. Seattle Seahawks they're rebuilding now since Pete Carroll left. And the Cardinals?
Hey, don't say anything about that team. It's bad luck because I don't even want to say his name. Listen,
you don't know what you're going to get with Arizona. You could get a good team or a bad team. I'm not talking trash about the Cardinals. I just say you don't know what you're going to get with them.
What I don't want is to have to play them 2 times in the first 6 weeks.
They're a tough team. I'm not going to take that away.
They play their best football at the beginning of the season.
But as far as them is concerned, the only ones we really should have a problem with, I think, would be the Cardinals. But the Rams, nah. Seahawks, that was luck.
Honestly, the Rams are going to be a challenge because now they've picked up Devontae. Their defensive line is serious, so they're not going to be a pushover by any stretch of the imagination. The Seahawks, I don't know what the Seahawks got really. But you know they're going to have a pretty good defense. They did last year.
You know what? It took injuries for them to beat us. And with our team being healthy and we got rid of half the people that got injured, and we get some healthy people on there, those Rams will not pose a challenge. I really think we're going to get a lot of defensive tackle and possibly a cornerback and a safety of some sort. I think this was going to happen, and maybe a kicker, maybe another kicker.
You know, you never notice how I never talk about the kicker. I don't want to talk about Jake. The guy is frightening.
But it could happen, Ronbo. It could happen, man. You
spent a 3rd round pick on him. You pretty much got to see him through because you messed up. Damn it.
Right. Well, they're not going to want. Unless we're rebuilding, then we're not going to get a kicker. If we're rebuilding and we're not going all in this year, we're going to stick with Jake Moody and we're going to miss a lot of field goals. So a lot of games are going to come to us losing.
No, wait a minute, Bill.
By a point or 2.
No, wait. Now, Kyle did say he's going to bring in some competition. He's not assumed the starter anymore, and Jake has to fight for his job. He is on the hot seat, though. If he can't outperform the guys in camp, Jake can say goodnight. No, he's not staying.
Good. Who's the reason why half of our players wanted to leave? I'm going to be honest. Yeah. We lost half the team because of Jake Moody. I blame him.
Well, we didn't lose half the team. I mean, we lost a lot of people, but remember,
we lost a lot of key players, Ronbo.
Well, I mean,
Greenlaw. We lost Hufanga. We lost Samuel.
Yeah.
We lost. We might be losing Kittle soon.
Deebo Samuel. You know, there's some guys
Possibly.
that weren't making a hell of a lot of difference that they're leaving because they either weren't here or they weren't performing up to snuff. So if we look at those guys that left realistically, and this is not just to make ourselves feel better, they weren't really a factor last year. And if we're waiting for them to get better, then we're going to be waiting a long time.
To be honest, a lot of people were playing for against Debo. We can't blame the guy. Yeah, he dropped some passes, but I mean, you try having a guy up in your face for 60 minutes, up in your grill for 60 minutes, and constantly being hit like a mad truck to see how you come out.
Well, that's it, Bill. I feel I'm sympathetic toward that, but when I bothered Debo about him, is he just wasn't being the same Debo every week. He was so, and that's not real Debo. So he needs to go somewhere where he can get his mind refreshed and be the real Debo. So.
Well,
Bill, we're going to run the clock.
I just think we're not going to be the same team. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of team we're going to be. Yeah. But, you know, we'll see what they do. I like to say is I'm going to try to reach out and, like I said, get a hold of Trent Williams' dad, and we'll see how he's doing. I'm going to actually try to get Big Trent on, too. So I'm trying to get a hold of him.
That would be awesome, Bill. All right, Bill, we got to go. And we'll see you Sunday.
Shout out,
I can do this.
I don't know.
Happy birthday, boy, Bill. Bill's birthday's coming. I thought I did that the other day for the birthday. Bill, I'll see you Sunday.
All right, before I go, are you going to be on Tuesday or Wednesday?
Maybe. You know what? I'm not sure yet, Bill. It could be Wednesday.
I need to know, because if I reach out and I try to reach out to some people, I need to know.
I think
the exact days.
Wednesday's a safe shot. I think so.
All right, well, let me go ahead and try to reach out to them on Monday, see how things are going.
See what they do
on the weekend.
Okay.
And good day, 49er Empire, and all you clowns that troll Ronbo. I can't wait for you to eat crow later.
Oh God, yes. Good night, Bill. Harold McAllister, I see you. Our trade-ups don't go well, Ronbo. We need to fix run defense first. Harold, I know that's common sense. I offer no argument at all. You're absolutely right, and thank you for the contribution. I feel like just getting on that roller coaster. Just, oh God, oh man, oh God, tell me I want stop, I want off. I want that thrill on draft night. But Brian, you know what, Brian, I was wondering, my God, the dude is shameless and he confiscated your name and said what he says. That's not Brian. And Shane McMahon, I got to get rid of him. Guy's annoying, just in a weird way. But thanks, Brian. You know I got your back, man. I ain't going to let somebody treat you like that. You know this. Hey, uh-oh. Hey, Jenny, come on in, man. I got my crow pie. No, I left it in the kitchen. Jalen. Yeah, you know how I'm doing, man. You know, because like you said this the other day, and I told Jane, I said, Jalen, stop it. And all of a sudden, I'm here talking about give me a running back in the first round. Trade up and get him. Trading up and get him.
Crazy how 49ers fans change their mind in an instant, Ronbo. Now, a couple of weeks ago, you were Jalen. If we do that, that'll be the craziest thing. Now, all of a sudden, you think it's one.
I don't know about Ashton Jeetner. That's a bad.
It doesn't matter. I don't care if it's Adrian Peterson. We don't need a running back. We don't need one. We need
you turn the tables. Now you're telling me to stop it, and I've told you to stop it before. Now Jalen's schooling me now. We don't need no running back. Jalen, I'm listening. Go ahead.
Ronbo, what is a running back gonna do behind an offensive line that can't block?
He's gonna get his brains beat out.
So what is us drafting a running back gonna do?
Nothing.
And I like how you mentioned Ronbo, you forgot to mention Trey Lance. You brought up all those past first-round picks. You brought up McGlinchey, Javon
No, we
Hargrave.
talked about him. Somebody else brought him up earlier, and I just agreed. I don't like to talk about Trey because I feel like he got abused. I feel sorry for him.
I don't. Don't forget. Now, now one guy, he didn't work out, but damn it, could play. Reuben Foster. Now, don't get me wrong, Rombo. Reuben was just a damn
Reuben made
fool.
me mad.
He was just a fool off the field, Rombo.
Damn,
now,
Reuben.
Reuben could play.
I know. That's what made me so mad. But he doesn't know what to do with his love life.
Yeah,
you would think a man who's probably had as much attention from women as he has would know how to work with women and not hurt himself. Reuben's still a damn fool. Reuben. Oh,
Reuben
my.
Foster was better. Rombo, Reuben Foster was better than Solomon Thomas. He was better than Mike McGlinchey. He was better than Trey Lance. Rombo, Reuben Foster was a hell of a player. He just couldn't stay out. Damn it, just couldn't stay out of trouble. He just could not stay out of trouble. He had potential, Rombo. That kid had some potential.
All right, he could play ball. No doubt about it. Reuben made a couple INTs. Well, he's always where the ball was. You go try to run past Reuben, you're not getting past Reuben. Oh.
God, that's one guy I wish would have worked out. If one guy could have worked out, Reuben Foster.
Well, you know.
Because we saw what those other guys looked like, Rombo. They weren't that good. Javon.
But look what happened. Look what happened. We got Fred Warner because we needed to get a linebacker the following year. Reuben leaves, Fred comes on. Everything happens for a reason, apparently. I've heard that all my life. I never agreed with it, not all the time, but it happens that way.
Yeah, it does happen. That yeah. Rombo, God, man. I feel like I'm gonna go into go into the year and it's gonna be the same stuff. It's just the same stuff, different year. You know what I mean? Like
you can go ahead and use the word. Same old bleep, just different day.
Yeah.
You know, life is that.
I have no reasons to believe that this man is gonna take the right position in the first round. When I mean Rombo.
I said you.
No. He had Rombo. He's only hit on what? Two guys, Rombo. The amount of first round picks he's had access to, and he's hit on Nick Bosa and Brandon Ayuk.
Wait, maybe Ricky. Well, let's see what Ricky looks like this year. It could be 3.
That's to be determined. We'll see.
TBD.
We will see. We will see. To be determined.
See, I can't. I take up for Shanahan. I always do, but I cannot defend any. I can't even come up with a defense for his first round picks. What I try to do sometimes is say he didn't make that decision on his own. I do that to save my own face.
Yes,
he
did. Yes, he did, Rombo. Rombo. John Lynch has no. Rombo, I truly believe that the pecking order goes Jed York, Shanahan, Lynch. I truly believe that. That man has more control than John Lynch does. That's just me.
You know, there are times when I should just stand down on defending Kyle Shanahan. I know this. But, you know, I think, if we look around the league and see how many teams have made and had faux pas, I mean, we're not by ourselves. This is what happens with the draft. It's hit or miss. There's no in between.
It is, for Rombo, for you to have that many misses, damn it. God, I mean, man, Rombo, you got that many. And Rombo, when's the last time he had a good second round pick?
Wait, Jalen, we built one of the best rosters in the league now. Now let's not undercut that, though. No. Howie Roseman over in Philadelphia, he beats the 49ers butt left, right, upside down, and every which way, okay? The Eagles are, but every other team in the league, I'm trying to think of anybody that's actually outbuilt us. See, I got you paused on that, don't I? Maybe hit, yeah. Okay.
I can think of maybe the Chiefs, the Ravens.
For the last 3 years, the Chiefs are not. We've had a better team than the Chiefs. They just got Patrick Mahomes.
Rombo, the Chiefs have drafted more better guys in it. Rombo, McDuffie is a all-pro corner that they drafted.
Well, okay,
Bolton. What about Bolton? Like the Chiefs drafted some really good defensive players.
Okay, but we got some defensives. I mean,
Rombo, Who have we drafted in the last few years on defense that's an all-pro?
I mean, you say last few years?
Yeah, the last 3 years, who have we drafted on defense that's an all-pro?
Okay, Diamond Lenore might be a Pro Bowler.
I said all-pro. I didn't say Pro Bowler, Rombo. Tyler
All
Huntley
pro.
was a Pro Bowler. Pro Bowl don't mean nothing no more, Rombo. Pro Bowl don't mean nothing. You got backup quarterbacks going to the Pro Bowl.
Jalen, I'm telling you right now, I can't beat you, man. You know what? You always come in with a well-prepared case, and all I can do is say, Your Honor, we're
drafting no all.
We're looking to make a plea deal. You know what? The thing is, I still think the 49ers built a good team, and a lot of other teams did not. I mean, most teams did not build a team better than the 49ers. We don't do our work in the first round. The 49ers do better work past the second and third round. It's very frightening, but you got Fred Warner in the third round, second round pick. Debo was good when he was good. There's some other guys that you could call in the name. I can't remember all of them, but there's been some here and there in the second and third rounds, but mostly fourth, fifth, and sixth round, we've been straight money.
Rombo, you notice how two of those guys you just named were drafted before COVID started? Like, you just mentioned two guys that were drafted back in post-2020. Can you give me anybody?
George Kittle, who's going to the Hall of Fame.
In 2017, Rombo. Can you give me any All-Pros we've drafted 2021 and up?
Hey, listen, I'm gonna prepare this. I'm gonna go back and look because I can't.
Hey, man, look, I'm just saying.
Jay, we gotta
built fortress, man. We ain't got.
We got to go because you're just beating my ass so bad. Listen, I need to prepare. I'll see you. Get back in there Sunday so I can fight. Because you got me today.
Let me get a Niner shout out. I see you back in the chat like a damn fool. Oh, Gina D. When you gonna learn?
I know Gene made his way back in there. You knew that was coming. Hey, Cindy's got Huff. Huff was an All-Pro.
Oh, he was. Oh, man. Hey, that was a 7th round pick.
Okay. I'll see you Sunday. I'm going to get some more. I'm not done. I'm going to go look it back. All right. Jalen. How old is that kid? He can't be over 21 or 22. Just, God damn. All right. So it looks like, okay, we're 49 and Brian, get in here, man. Did somebody just... Who's this? Oh, it's Brian. That's the last one. Okay. Brian, are you on that phone?
Well, hate it.
Brian.
Are you there?
I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, buddy. How's it going?
Well, it was going all right till I was worried Jalen was going to get in here today. you know,
yeah,
I told Jalen to knock it off. What was that, 2-3 weeks ago? Jalen said, Rumbo, the 49ers are going to take a running back in the first round. 2-3 weeks later, here's Rumbo talking about, get me Ashton. Oh, GT in the first round. I might even be interested in doing that. 49ers trade up. I like this idea. We got plenty of, there's all kind of DTs in this draft. We got plenty of time. Make that impact play. I'm worried about seeing him. See what's going on and on, right? So, you know, Jalen comes in today and took advantage of that moment. I'm a whipped man. Told him to stop it, and today he had to tell me to stop it. Brian, where are you at on this position? Anything else you want to jump on?
Well, can we look at the history of Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch's drafting prowess?
Yes.
They always go defensive, Rombo. Always.
Yeah. Are you mad at that, though? I'm not sure if I'm mad at that because, Kyle can pretty much make anything out of an offense as long as he's got a running back.
Yeah.
I just said that, though. Is that a bad thing or what?
Well, we know what he does. He's going to run CMC into the ground, and then Garendo.
That's a bad thing. That's true.
And then who do we got? Taylor behind Garendo. So, yeah, I can see us drafting a running back, but Rombo, we're going to go defensive. We have to.
That's all they're calling in now. If you look over the guys are calling in, there's no offensive players coming in. Not even offensive linemen, which is very interesting. What do you say to an offensive lineman, though? Actually, he is what he is. You can see tape on him. You don't need to waste his time and yours having him flown in.
Well, if I'm Brock Purdy, I'm buying more Toyotas and buying those guys meals to fatten them up for the preseason at least. You know,
like you did last year. Yeah, I'm sure Toyota took care of that bill for him, but still. Man.
Yeah. Well, I don't see us going anywhere. But I mean, what were we against the run? 26th in the league defensively.
Oh, I don't even want to remember. I know we couldn't stop it. And that's why, see, a lot of teams have premier running teams now. Not just one. They got a duo to hurt you. I look at the Falcons as a huge example. They beat us the year before last with that running back team. Then you look at Detroit, that we escaped, Brian, in last year's playoffs.
Yeah.
We escaped them. They were running all over the 49ers, but all of a sudden the coach decides to let Jared throw the ball. Thank you, God. Oh, my God. So, man. Ooh.
Yeah. Well, Ronbo, I just don't see him going. We got no defensive line. Nobody. Except for Nick. And I'm worried about Fred because Fred, I don't know if Winters is going to be able to work with Fred. So I see us drafting a linebacker. I really do.
Yeah, that's why when people say, well, man, get over that dude in Georgia, man, and he ain't even, I forgot what they said about him. They called him an outside linebacker more than a linebacker. I said, well, I ain't gonna play him. I don't, he looked good when I saw the film. So I think a lot of people, there's another couple of options, but you're right. The 49ers might want to work because Fred and whoever he's working with, they have huge impact on how well that defense works. Fred's going to put everybody in position to play, but he needs to have somebody good enough to keep his back so he can do the things he does. Because Fred may drop back in coverage. He may be playing a run. Fred just, a lot of options go through his mind as to where he's going to put himself to best benefit the team on any given play. So you're right. He needs a accomplished, skilled dude. And D. Winters might have to be the guy, though, Brian. We might be training a kid this year, but D knows at least what he's supposed to be doing. Can he get it done is the question, though. So I hear you. Brian? Did we lose Brian? Brian? Brian! All right, we lost Brian, I think. But anyway, fam, there's the 49ers got so much to think about as far as the defensive line. Lynch has already put himself in bad position by saying, since we didn't buy anybody in free agency, we told Leonard Floyd goodbye. Joey Bosa came over and played us. We don't have anybody. So they got to go get people out of the draft. So honestly, tonight's science fiction pick of trading up for a running back was probably always just a joke anyway, but it's fun to consider. So I don't know what they're going to do as far as defensive line. You got 4 or 5 guys max. There's not even a handful. So, Brian, did you make it back in? Oh, yeah. Yo, Ellis.
Yeah.
Kyle Suck. He was one besides foolish and deluded Niner fans' money. GD. They picked up a few players in Seattle, and now Gene D, who's been the dude has been hiding somewhere with Aaron Rodgers in that cave, and all of a sudden now we got people coming back. I love it. We're going to be susceptible to a lot of jokes this year due to the fact that people don't understand that we got people probably can still play, and people think we're dead meat. Ellis, right. As you know, I came in there tripping tonight just to see what kind of reaction I'd get about a first-round pick draft up to get – boy, did you give me Gene T? Ashton Genty? I call him Gene T because I like the way it sounds. Is one of the people I'm supposed to be going over?
No.
Ellis, that boy's balance.
So you're telling me you didn't look at nothing between last night.
Ellis, don't put it like that, man. You remind me My mom used to do that to me. I'd come in, so you telling me you didn't, but Mama, listen, I got to say, shut up. Listen, here's what I want you to know. And then the punishment will be laid on me.
Right. Right.
No. I told you yesterday I was going to get it done, too. I forgot I only had 24 hours. Alice, give me one more day, man. Oh, God.
All right. Just check it out, family. I'm telling you.
I can't wait.
I'm telling you, you're going to be hyped. And this boy Jeremiah Smith from Ohio State, he's a rookie. He's a freshman wide receiver right now.
Okay.
He's so damn good. He's too young to get drafted. His ass would have got drafted. He would have probably been a top 10 pick. Y'all look out, whoever hasn't, look out for, I think it's Jeremiah Smith, the freshman wide receiver out there at Ohio State. He's going to be probably a first-round pick in the next season or two here.
Okay.
That boy ain't no joke. Anyway, go ahead. What are we doing?
No, I was looking at the madness. I said, the FS1, the morning show, the guys talk about the 49ers. What they could do is, because Christian McCaffrey's not going to last a lot longer. He's headed toward the end of his prime at any rate. He's come off an injuries and this and that. If the 49ers want to keep Kyle Shanahan's engine afloat, his offense pretty much stems from being ignited by a good run game. The 49ers trade up to number 5 and get Ashton Jeanty. I went and looked at that. What are you talking about? Ashton Jeanty, I watched. Jesus Christ. That's only just a dark complexion Christian McCaffrey that can run faster. He's breaking tackles. He's shooting through holes. He's that one-step gone guy. His bend is stupid. Dude, I mean, big, heavy dudes. Grab him. They got him. They think they got him. They come down. Genty's torso folds over his head, damn near touches the ground. He throws this fool off, springs back in position. He's back to 0 to 60 within a split second. I said, that's not even human. I said, Saquon Barkley does things I don't believe. But what I just seen right there, that is what? So, I was on board then. I lost my mind. The Raiders go pick him up at number 6. I don't want that. Damn it, I wish we could get him. But to ask to trade up to get him is ridiculous. We need so many more things than a running back. So, Anyway, that's what I was talking about tonight.
Well,
your feeling.
Well, if you look at the running backs that they have in this draft,
I heard there's lots.
They got some bad boys out there, Ronbo.
I believe it.
So I wouldn't be too upset. Yeah, Travion Hendrickson. From Ohio State, that's a bad boy. He would look really good on our offense. I don't see us getting Scatterbo. He's just not fast enough. He's going to look good on somebody's team though. I think the right offense and the right offensive line and coach and whatnot. Yeah. He's going to do some damage. I think he'll look real nice in the league. But we need somebody who's got like that, kind of like that Tevin Coleman, how Tevin Coleman was pretty elusive and looked real good behind the backfield. He had the speed. Yeah. He had a couple of different things that he could do well.
Yes.
We need more of a well-rounded back. And I think, but Scatterbo, I guess he catches the ball out the backfield. He looks good. He's just not super fast. I think we need somebody that's fast and electric, and that boy from Ohio State looked really good.
I agree.
So I see us getting that type of running back over like a bulky, solid kind of bowling ball kind of guy. You know what I mean? Who could probably beat it, who could get through that hole and probably mow the lawn real good. You know what I mean?
And punishing people. Wow, he's got a straight arm. It's just brutal. Oh, he's good with that straight arm.
Yeah. Yeah, but I wouldn't be mad if they got him. If he was available, take him. But we're going to get a good running back.
11, he ain't going to be there. And also you got options at 11 now. Now, if Gene T's there's probably some great defensive tackles, maybe an offensive tackle possibly. There's definitely an edge. You got to take. You don't really need. You do, but you don't. You got to make a choice. What would it be?
Honestly, I would probably go defensive.
Yeah.
But we're moving back in the first round.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I hope everybody. I'm like 98% sure
You might as well
because that's the only real way we're going to be able to accrue a lot of picks. You know that we look. If we're in the second round, we move back. You know, we switch a third. The compensation is going to be a lot less. We have to use that first round pick to move back and get more picks. We'll get more for that. So, like I said, go back twice in the first round. Yeah, hey, we're going to still get a steal no matter what in the first round. We could go back 5 or 10 more spots. We're going to get a player that's going to play right away, and we can all feel secure in that. We're not going to get 4 or 5 picks in the first round. We got 1 pick this year, but we can go back and we can still get a key player. I personally don't want a corner. I know everybody keeps talking about this corner from Michigan and the other one from Texas. Yeah, Will, whatever his name is, and then whatever the I can't pronounce his name right now, but he, over in Texas, he's supposed to be looking good. I just don't really want a corner in the first round, but if they do get it, so be it. I just would be pissed off if they didn't come out balling right away. You know what I mean? So give me a DT, give me a D tackle or edge rusher, and I'll feel a lot better. Or offensive tackle, I would just feel better.
Because you have to. You don't have anybody. We gotta go though, fam. Let me. I'm gonna see you Sunday because I can't get enough of this now. So we'll figure out what happens.
We count down, man. It's gonna get real exciting, man. I look forward to it. I think CMC's gonna go crazy this year. I just have a feeling like after what happened last year, the type of player that he is, he's about to come tear some shit up. So anyway,
we do have to go.
And I look forward to it. Thank God he's a Niner. Shout out to family, man. Y'all know what it is. Hit that like and subscribe. Shout out production. Shout out Tony, and all the family. And Joe, Donut, Tanisha, Frank, the Dragon family, the whole chat, Brian. Y'all know what it is. And, man, much love, y'all. Let's
back at you, Ellis. All right, fam. I'll see you Sunday.
Let's get it. Yes, sir. Peace. Hey, Ronbo.
Yeah, go ahead, quick.
Your homework is late. Your homework is late.
I've got it Sunday. All right, we got to go before we get
shut off.
Turn
that shit in on Sunday.
All right.
Turn it in on Sunday. All right.
Fam, we're out of here. I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to see you Sunday. Let's see what happens next. As every day between now and draft night is definitely going to be intense. You know what I'm still waiting for, though? I'm waiting for those. You know how, it's a little too early, though, huh? You know how I was here? The New Orleans Saints have traded up with Chicago. I haven't heard that in a long time. We didn't hear it last year, but you always hear about the first round and second round pick being traded up for. Tennessee's probably not going to do that, but number 2 might do that. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Anyway, see you Sunday, fam. Thank you for the contributions. Always appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe. I need to make sure that we stay buddies. I'll see you Sunday, fam. Niners!